right, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to the broadcast here, the Summit 7 European qualifying action coming at you. And we got two great CIS region teams going at it. Vega Squadron going up against Navi here in a best of 3. Looking forward to this one here. This is an elimination match, of course, once again. The winner of this advances on to the playoffs, actually. The loser will be done here in what is the Summit 7 qualifier. So looking forward to having some good action here today. With all that said, I am Breaky CPK, and I'm joined by my co-caster, Z-Rock here. Z-Rock, how's it going, man?
You know, it's just another great day. Gotta watch some good Dota. And this is actually a grudge match, right? They played the first round of the tournament together.
Did they? I don't know.
I believe so.
Did they? Here, let me check the brackets real quickly, because, yeah, you know, you are right. I apologize. I thought Vega...
And Vega, like, thrashed it.
Yeah.
It was like a 20 and a 30-minute game.
Yeah. That was well, the reason why I said that, because that was actually the only one that I happened not to cast here, these qualifiers, so I was a little confused. But anyways, but you are right. Yeah, I do remember looking into that, though. Yeah, Vega Squadron had a pretty good time, and in the end won that series. So a rematch of sorts, as you're getting at.
Yeah. And I always love seeing Tusk in the meta. Super fun, super dynamic hero. Tons of options, lots of flashy plays.
Yeah.
Should be a lot of fun. I'm excited. Now, most notably, Warlock and Abaddon both slipped the ban and pick phase out of the first phase. Not see this super surprising out of Vega. They tend to not necessarily favor the premium meta picks as much as a lot of the other teams. But Navi, I'm just surprised to see them let those slip through entirely. Opting for the Jug tree. Juggernaut, one of those on-the-fence heroes that'll get first pick, that'll get last pick, that'll get forgotten about, just always around. But let's talk about this tree. What are your thoughts on how trees performed in this event or around this patch?
You know, in general, tree I feel like has been overall decent. It's kind of interesting because, you know, when tree was first introduced into captain's mode, I just remember hearing about, like, oh, how this hero is, you know, potentially going to be pretty damn strong. And the living armor is one of those abilities where it's kind of hard to appreciate sometimes as a spectator because it's constantly doing work. You know, the global presence from both heroes and then towers as well. But I feel like we haven't seen as much roaming and ganking potential with the hero as he can bring. It's been more about defending than anything, which is kind of disappointing.
Yeah.
I'm still waiting for that, you know, battle tree and build here.
No, and I mean, that's kind of exactly my point. I feel like we've seen way more trees maxing living armor than Nature Skies, which was definitely a shift from when it first came into CM, and everyone was maxing Nature Skies. And I just see a lot of games where I feel like it does nothing, but they still win. Or there's some games where I feel like it's single-handedly carrying the game. It just seems like there's no okay tree games. As I said, it's doing okay overall, but it feels like it's either way in one direction or the other game by game.
Yeah.
10 seconds remaining.
Yeah, no, I'm actually curious to know what the stats are as of lately. And I know I had Kiev again. He overall did pretty well, and exactly, it's just he is doing well. It's understandable that he's being picked up in high priority, but yeah, I do think there is another way to play, and that not a lot of the teams have really opened up to yet. So, but again, still being newer into captain's mode itself. Perhaps that's something eventually to come down the line. But picked up by Navi here, you expect it is going to be more of that defensive, more of that, you know, be here for the living armor presence. And Overgrowth is always a strong ulti ability. Coddle, follow this up.
Yeah, Coddle. Our long-lost first pick, first ban hero from a couple months ago. Still super strong. Real quick, I want to touch on the bans. Navi banning Ursa and Alchemist does let the Terrorblade through that Vega has been favoring super heavily. Oh, TBU's first ban. Derp. Good morning. But yeah, Coddle, if they get a good offlaner that can provide pressure, thinking like Clockwork here, it would be a most notable one that we've seen played a lot. Really can just do a ton in the offlane. He just gets a cogs and a battery assault, Coddle eliminates from the tree line, and all of a sudden somebody explodes.
Yeah, it's
that's my super basic analysis, but you know.
You're right. So that's what matters here.
Low level analysis, too easy. But no, in reality, it's just a strong combo. I mean, the game is made up of 1-2 combos. Now, the real question is going to be, I'm assuming Carry Jug, but Carry Jug with a support tree is a little difficult to run. Leech Seed is a good slow, and it's a long-lasting slow, but it's not the most damage in a lane from a support. So we'll have to see if they run maybe that mid Juggernaut, depending on the matchup. Although Vega does have a ton of melee here. If they'd run something like a puck middle type thing, could do a ton of work.
Yeah.
We all know Dendy puck.
I was gonna say, yeah, we're gonna see that Dendy here, and you know it's interesting because I personally I don't know if I've gotten the chance to really cast a Dendy yet. I've been casting now for 9 to 10 months here, and the god Dendy.
You want
himself.
one of the old school Dendy heroes?
Oh, Pudge,
Dendy
of
mid
course.
Rubik. Dendy mid Rubik.
Yeah, he did that
all the time.
Wow.
Oh, he was. I mean, it was like one of the signatures. Like, yeah, the Pudge, that was a thing once in a while. It was more of a joke than anything. And then basically when Pudge came out, there weren't a ton of heroes in Dota still. It was like Tidehunter. Tidehunter was the first pick first ban for the first year of Dota 2. Because there was like 18 heroes or something. I mean, it wasn't that bad. I mean, that's an exaggeration. But yeah, there were just not that many heroes. So he was one of the few with a huge AoE stun.
Yeah.
Anyway, Vega picking up the Lifestealer. Super nice because he has a great delivery method in Tusk. It's not instant like we'd like to see, but it is better than something like a Spirit Breaker where they can interrupt the charge and leave them stranded. So, not a bad bomb. Going to be looking for a mid laner here on the side of Vega, so TA also works really well with the Lifestealer. Not surprised to see that picked at all. Super common pick in this tournament, this latter half of this patch.
Yeah. This is
so. What do you answer it with? We've seen Veno tried. We've seen Lita, and pretty much everything's felt kind of lackluster.
I don't know if there's an obvious answer. Really. I think TA is just one of those mids right now that's like you just kind of have to deal with, and almost a little surprised that it's not banned. Frankly, and that might be a case of Navi was hoping to maybe get it for themselves, but knowing that they didn't have the first pick and the last pick there, you know that's always going to be a risk. So. TA, yeah, we even saw G yesterday, in fact. Obviously in the losing effort in the series, but in that game 2 where they won, G actually had a hell of a performance on TA, as you stressed, though. In general, this hero has actually been doing so well. So, yeah, Navi, I don't know that there's an obvious answer here necessarily that comes to mind.
Is it to mid the jug?
Well,
it's not a bad matchup by any means. It's not a good matchup.
One that comes to mind, actually, what about something like a Troll Warlord?
I think you'd rather have Jug. You just throw the Troll as a carry. It takes too long to get through Refraction as Troll. It's just, It's a little rough. And your wave clear is not very good, which can pose a problem when you look at the lineup overall. You've got Coddle to spam out waves. You've got Rocket Flare, but in the early-ish part of the game, 10 to 15 minutes, I want to say if you run a Troll mid, you probably lose most of your towers pretty quickly.
Yeah, so it's kind of you say it would take a while to get off. Like in my mind, it's more like having that fur. Ideally, could actually burn through pretty quickly, but it just still takes time. You're right; it doesn't have that ability to.
Yeah, Blade Flurry melts it instantly.
Yeah.
This is an okay answer, just because if you can get a Q onto a TA while she's trying to harass you, and then right click her, that's 3 refraction charges. 1 from the Spirit, 1 from the right click, and 1 from the Overload. They're all separate instances, so not a bad way to get through it. And looking more for their overall team fight. It's something that in the mid game can just jump the Warlock, try to stop the Chaotic Offering from going down, really be a little more evasive. The one risk is he's going to be super vulnerable to ganks pre-6. If Tusk just looks at him funny, Storm might fall over.
Well, we're going to see the Dendy Storm to finish here, and looking forward to seeing how this game now shapes up. By the way, there is a stand for Navi, as we see here. Exclamation point.
What a guy. I love exclamation point. That's my boy.
Yeah.
Standing in for who? Sineko?
Wait, no, that is... it says it was Sineko. No, it is Sineko. I'm sorry. I just saw exclamation point, and that just kind of registered now that you mentioned that.
And the stand-in tag.
Yeah, I'm just like oh, cool, stand-in here. No, but that is Sineko, so never mind. It is their full 5-man roster. I apologize.
Has he been playing with them for 3 weeks? Why is he not tagged up?
I don't know. Vega Squadron, by the way, wasn't there was that announcement yesterday with, what was it, Mag 7? He just joined Mineski, a Southeast Asian team. And everyone's like, what? CIS going to Southeast Asia? I believe he used to play for Vega, so.
I mean, that dude's insane. He used to play for, who'd you say it was, G?
No, Mag 7.
Or Mag 7. Oh, yeah. Yeah, he used to for a little while. I mean, Black, when he first played on Southeast Asia, literally communicated only with pings. Or when he played for, it was Vici, China. He had no real Mandarin knowledge at the beginning.
No,
basic vocabulary.
It's always it's more and more interesting to see. Like Black, I know was kind of one of the first ones to do it. I know Ice, I believe, had history doing it, and it's just like, seeing the international players kind of come, the global players coming together more and more lately. We're seeing a lot more examples of that over time, and that communication barrier is kind of the key, as you pointed out. But hey, if they can get through that, obviously the idea of moving to set LAN houses or the team houses in the end is becoming more and more relevant. So. It seems like we're getting more of it as time moves on here, with teams coming together from around the world.
I think you're playing too much CSGO. It's just Mag. That's why I was confused so much. Mag 7's the shotgun in CSGO.
Wait, his name is just Mag? Okay.
I was like, wait a minute, what?
Maybe.
But no, yeah, Mag's really solid. Was on Vega for like 2 years. He was a staple of the OG roster. Pretty close to the original.
It's early,
roster.
man. This is early.
It is very, very early.
Well, so actually, on that note, real quickly, so obviously we got this best of 3 here, Navi versus Vega. This is the only match today. It turns out, again, with scheduling, normally it wouldn't be this early even, but I guess, with as we get later in the event and so many other events going on, the organizations themselves have to be a little more willing to, make some adjustments day to day, and the teams, they decided to play a little bit earlier, and then the other match, what was set to be Mouse versus
Pro Dota.
Mouse versus Pro Dota. That one's actually going to now take place tomorrow and set up to have 3 best of 3s tomorrow. So it's going to be a long day tomorrow.
We got a marathon day. Okay, mid lane already though. Just that nice little dual lane back and forth. It's super exciting.
Yeah.
Everyone loses a bunch of regen. Nobody dies.
Oh, geez. Definitely feeling that pain, man. He's dropping pretty low himself. No refraction just yet, of course. But, yeah, Treant Protector, it's not often we actually see a Treant Protector just kind of babysitting middle lane. He did get that leaf seed first, and Seneko just going to sit here and harass with it early on.
Yeah, it's entirely just a reaction. He knew Tusk was going to sit mid, felt the need to do the same to give Dendy something in the early game. And, yeah, working out well. I mean, the trades are good.
Bottom lane. Afterlife
that shards.
Oh, it almost hit, yeah. That would have been something. But yeah, it's a 2 versus 1 bottom lane. Obviously, Dark's here going up against both the Juggernaut and the Coddle here. Coddle, excuse me, we do tend to see more of an aggressive Coddle usually coming. I know you're kind of talking about that, the idea with that with the Clockwork even. But he is going to be babysitting again instead for the Juggernaut, as we see. Oh, middle lane, by the way. The Ice Shard's coming in this time, a much better block. But is it going to be enough for an actual kill? Dendy's running away. The Orb of Venom on him. All he can do is run, though, but I'm pretty sure he's dead here. He pops a Fairy Fire. Another auto attack. Yeah, that's going to do him in. First blood comes out in favor of Vega.
Very nice shards. Wow. Yeah, and it's interesting that he's the one that falls. Not a lot of people know this. Tree is super squishy at level 1. He's got quite a bit of base HP, but he only has 1 armor. So if you're able to not trade autos and just right-click him a little bit, he really can just fall over like paper. But a solid block from Seema there. Puts Dendy on the back foot very early on.
Race to the regen rune. It's going to be picked up by TA. Not much Dendy can do about that. Obviously, no storm light or ball lightning, excuse me, just yet, and thus doesn't have that extra bit of mobility here. So good run over by TA.
Well, so as for the Coddle, when they put Tree mid, they've accepted the Darkseer's going to get level 2, which means he's going to have access to both Surge and Ion Shell. Makes him a lot harder to kill. And so Coddle decided to go ahead and straight lane bottom, get an early point in Mana Leak, just so he has a way to zone back the Darkseer a little bit. I don't necessarily mind the trade-off, especially if he's going to jungle his way to like a quick 3 or 4, because that lets General get some early levels. Clock's going to get his levels with Cogs at some point. And then once you've got that level 1, level 2 Illuminate, then you rotate top. So I don't mind it. I think it's fine.
By the way, we see the power of that living armor coming through right there. Level 2 Treant Protector, he gets that living armor, and not only does that help save Dendy in the middle lane, but it helps him turn on a Tusk there and get some early revenge against him. So well played coming out from Navi. As I mean, to be fair, Vega Squadron, they were diving quite a bit. The Ice Shards basically just beyond the Tier 1 tower. They really wanted that kill, and obviously it comes back to bite them. So good turn, though, from Navi, and that's again, presence of Treant Protector. of what he can do.
Yeah, and with the Shrine being used right there, he can come right back. This is going to force Tusk to keep coming back, and we're going to see a dual lane mid for quite a while.
Yeah, why not? He's got the good harassment tool with the Leap Seed once again, and continues to be the 2 versus 2 right here. So this is definitely the entertaining lane, the one that we already had kills at and expect for possibly more, the way things are going right now. But TA is going to pop the Shrine himself, and now has that level 2 refraction here, so it becomes more difficult.
Interesting out of General. He had a little bit of gold from top lane and walked all the way back to get a Shrine, and then TP's back to lane with no regen and no Shrine of his own available. So we'll have to see if he's going to be under some pressure here.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Rotating around, smoke from Tusk. Coming to that middle lane. You see Dendy's kind of pushing up currently, and Sentry's even put down, maybe in case Tree and Protector hit a nearby, if anything else at a counter ward, but oh, it's actually now the Sentry put down by Seneko, and he's just going to beat down this ward that he clearly saw Tusk put down. He's kind of trying to bait him out.
Neither of them had Tangos on the side of Radiant, though.
Oh,
so
that
Tusk
was
just
well played,
walks
yeah.
up, Tangos the Sentry, and was like, ah, gotcha.
Yeah, I was wondering what that was about, but well played by Tusk right there to react to it. So they know the ward's there, obviously, but they need another Sentry to take care of that. Seems like that is going to be coming out, and Tree and Protector going to look to get that gold back, what he just spent there.
Dire's bottom tower is under
Obviously. Storm Spirit's not in the middle lane currently. He's currently falling back, and same for Darkseer, though, to be fair. He's at his own jungle. But wrap around here as Silent on the Warlock. He's being run down by General, but now General's the one that has to be careful himself. Living Armor is applied. Helping to tank up again, and he should survive throughout all this.
Denied.
Early rotations, though.
He's gonna hurt. This might kill him. 28, 10, 3,
Oh my
0.
God. It does
There's a
actually
Fatal
kill
Bonds
him.
on the entire creep wave.
Wow.
So, yeah, just very heads up from G there.
Radiant's top tower
Just
is
to
under attack.
plow through those creeps, dealing as much damage as he could before the bonds dropped.
Yeah. I definitely was not expecting. God, Fatal Bonds is strong, man. It's get on a full creep wave like that, especially. It's not often you see the long range kill as we saw right there, but they make it take advantage of it even. So.
And this start from Vega is looking very okay overall. The mid lane's rough, but it's rough for both sides. And the Warlock has so much experience for a support Warlock right now. He's level 4.5 at 6 minutes. And maybe better with a kill on General here.
Yeah, getting that living armor.
Cold.
Oh, there's the Fatal
There's the
Bonds,
bonds
though.
again.
You know it's a kill. It's 100% a kill unless you pop the Shrine. No, he's like, Shrine, come to me. It's not going to happen. That's a tough start for General now. Second
Yeah,
death
if you
right
get
there.
bonds to an entire melee creep wave, you're going to take roughly 500 damage. If they kill
Wow.
off the entire wave and they were all full.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's just a nuts skill as far as how much damage it can do.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Again, see an example of it now a couple of times right here. So Clockwork, he feels the pain. That's for sure. And mentioned kind of an okay start here for Vega Squadron overall. But yeah, bottom lane, Pycat. You're on Juggernaut. He is doing fantastic himself. 46 and 19 creep farm. And he's got the phase boots. As he's going to get more assistance from Biver meanwhile. Middle lane, Dendy will go down. Tusk actually rotating in this time. And G dealing plenty of damage for the kill. He actually has those traps now. Able to catch Storm Spear right before level 6. That's the key right there. Getting that kill.
Yeah, Bendy just had one more creep there, he gets out, but instead, that is the slow, painful death.
Well played. Dendy back to the middle lane, but it's going to be level 6 here now, so obviously it's going to be much more difficult to kill, especially with a roaming Tusk, but it's already fell victim, so Vega Squadron can be happy with that. In this middle matchup now, TA, take a look at the net worth here. He's 3,000 net worth, about a 2,500 net worth currently for the Storm Spirit. So TA already having the better of starts, and is going to jungle here now a little bit as well. Darkseer also seems like he's doing all right at least. He is level 5, almost level 6 himself. Compare that to the Clockwork, who's, I guess, 5.5 too. So Clockwork,
Yeah, they're
despite 2 deaths, not doing too bad.
Yeah, they're definitely in a similar position. The support level differential is the bigger one. I mean, the Warlock's a full level up on Coddle, and the Tusk is actually a little down on the tree. But I mean, to be fair, the Tusk has done so much more work in the mid lane than tree.
Radiant's middle
You
tower
see
is
General,
under
he's like,
attack.
I remember this. Having flashbacks here. This time he's full life, though, so he's going to be more than fine, and those Tranquil boots on top of that, but it's still got to be so annoying. Having to constantly deal with that. With Fatal Bonds, that is. Fatal Bonds, by the way, level 3 already. Wow, Warlock's level 5 here himself. Soon to be 6, so.
Yep, yep. That'll be one of the faster 6s we've seen in a Warlock
Yeah.
quite a while.
As that main support, he's leeching some experience off of the triple stack here for TA, and not only beneficial for the Warlock, but especially TA, who's really jumped up there now in net worth. Going to bust over 4,000.
This might be the first game I've ever seen a Warlock not need the Tome at 10 minutes. He's already 6 at 9, so they'll be able to give that to Tusk, get the level 6 up on Tusk sooner. And yeah, in a very, very strong position to take a fight. If there's something that Vega sees, basically they've got their Infest up, Tusk can already snowball Lifestealer in, and then you've got the Chaotic Offering behind it way earlier than most teams would be expecting it.
Ooh, top lane. Could get interesting up here. Lifestealer. Going to make his way back in, but he does not know. There's 2 more here, including the Juggernaut, actually, who's up here. So here comes a bash initially. Nope, the Leech Seed. Never mind. Rage pop, but the Omni Slash on top of him as he's running towards their tower. All right.
He wanted to get to the creep wave, because
Yeah.
if he made it to the allied creeps, he can't just kill him from full HP. So if he jumped in like the back one, he could actually get time for his whole team to rotate. Solid rotation, though. Doing what I want every Jugger player ever to do. You get 6, you TP, you kill their carry with Omni Slash. It's like the dream.
Oh, Navi, experienced team, and make use of that right here. So Pycat will push out the top lane a little bit more, but not going to go for the tower kill by any means. Still really early on for that. Is this about Clockwork? He finds a solo Tusk. He snowballs out, though. And will survive, but General keeping the pressure up. Is level 6 now. Hasn't used his hookshot just yet, but he has it. As a mechanic to use here now, as Coddle's been absorbing some experience at the bottom lane. I mean, overall, this is one of those games, everyone's getting some decent levels, except maybe the Tusk. Tusk is struggling a little bit. On level 4 still.
Yeah, he's kind of got what he needs, though. I mean, in reality, more levels on Tusk are kind of marginal gains. They're still nice to have, absolutely, but he's definitely one of those people that once he gets all 3 skills, he feels like he's unlocked. So while they'd like to get 6 up on him, get the Walrus Punch so you have 1 more CC, they're not in bad shape on him right now.
Yeah.
Dire's middle
Tusk,
tower is under attack.
that level 10 talent, yeah, 40% experience gain. Pretty
But the damage.
high.
Radiant's top tower
But
is
damage,
under
you are
attack.
right. I mean, potentially with that Walrus Punch thrown in, he could be quite the damage dealer, to be fair. But I feel like, yeah, you need to be kind of snowballing. Get the pun there. You got to kind of be, doing pretty well in the game as far as taking advantage of that. So now, Crystal Maiden, on the other hand, definitely should get the 60 damage talent.
Death.
No, but yeah, Tusk by all means doing just fine for the team, as you pointed out, and kind of accomplishing. And yeah, another case I mentioned G actually on TA yesterday, looking good. Seema actually did play Tusk a couple games yesterday against Alliance, and again, at least in the first game, looked very good doing so. And definitely
Yeah,
a
he played it
hero.
in game 2, I believe, too, against the rematch of this matchup the first time, Navi Vega.
Yeah,
And they just demolished. I remember one fight he protected a Terrorblade and let him get off this crucial Sunder. Like, got a snowball at 10% HP on the TV, maybe less. And they turned that into a Sunder and turned a fight. Ooh, got the haste.
oh, Seneko stutter stepping there a little bit. He's like, now it's bait. He's gonna overgrowth. Go for the turn kill on a Tusk. Tusk doing a good job with the Ice Shard placement, actually boxing out any supports coming in, and Seneko will be killed off in the end. A Chaotic Offering was committed for that, so they are going to make a push with it, though, and it's ultimately going to work out pretty well for Vega Squadron here.
Yeah, it's going to be extremely hard for Navi to hold this. They'd have to have rotated Cuddle in really early, be ready to be eliminating already, and just not there yet. So the offering is totally fine to get a tier 1 this early.
There you go, Desolator. TA actually has it finished, just a matter of getting it delivered here. So
It's insanely fast.
Nice timing,
She's going to
yeah.
hurt. She went from being like 4th on net worth to leading by 2k.
yeah, those triple stack. I believe it was a triple stack, if I'm not mistaken, on these Ancients there. That'll do it. That's one of those heroes you want to be stacking for, especially the Ancients, and then transition. Like I said, they're comfortable with the idea. So
Pycat's in a weird spot up here.
yeah, he's kind of just like accepting it. He's like, you know what, I'm trapped in here. Might as well still do damage to the tower, but now he needs to spin away, and he will be fine though. So Pycat, he's confident. He has team support, and Knows that they're not going to commit to it. If they do, they could very likely turn.
Radiant's
So
middle
fall back
tower
from
is
that.
under
He's got the
attack.
Yasha being built now. Pycat does, excuse me, the real U, meanwhile. Lifestealer does have that armlet finish, though, of course, and toggling that on and off.
Yay, he's not going Midas.
No Midas. Oh, trying to catch right there on the Seneko, but now there's more nearby than maybe expected. Denny's going to fly in with that ball landing. Going to get the kill on the Seaman eventually, but the Walrus punch right before does some good damage right there. So now Denny has to be careful with his life. The Fatal Bonds is up, but not many leashes, if any, so
Oh,
he will be able to port back to
careful.
base. Lifestealer going inside the
Yeah.
catapult right there. Pycat, as you mentioned, maybe overextending a little bit. Biver will port in, but now Juggernaut, he's being run down. He has to pop the Omni Slash somewhat defensively right here. Going for the Terracrat LTA. They might get That's going to be a big one at that. They will get the kill on him. A nice bounty coming out for Pycat on the Juggernaut. And Lifestealer, all they can do is run away.
Fiver's insane. Mana leak into a beautiful blinding light, which pushed the TA under tower, stunned her, and the Jug's Omni Slash was rolling at the time, so he started right underneath her. I mean, that was insanely beautiful from the cuddle there.
Great assistance there. One of the newer players on the roster, of course, and looking good there at least. And overall, I feel like he's fit in pretty well. Ice Shards are going to block him somewhat, but not too concerned. Just simply Seema roaming around, trying to get some vision in. And being a nuisance that Tusk can be. What is this about? Lifestealer top lane.
Oh, he's gonna get the courier. Black.
Radiant's courier
Oh, I got the
has
courier,
been
nice.
killed.
Lifestealer will be fine, so Tusk waiting around patiently. That works out. Nothing on it, right?
So Tusk's.
Oh, there
Oh,
was.
no, Denny just brought himself a point booster.
Dire's middle
But,
tower is under attack.
Yeah, no, Tusk's ult
Radiant's
is
top
targetable
tower
on the
is
courier,
under attack.
and it does crit, so it's guaranteed one shot on the courier.
Oh.
It's like 400 and something damage.
So you use that right there, yeah. I guess it's
Oh, yeah.
not the longest cooldown, only 36 seconds at level 1 even. Jeez, yeah, that goes down to 12 seconds.
Have you seen this Frozen Sigil icon, by the way? Like, Vici Gaming immortalized
Yeah.
the matter of Tusk.
So is it? So it is Vici Gaming.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
What's the
I
lore
want to say
behind
that
that?
set. I think it came out after their. And what tournament? They won some big tournament, and then someone designed that set for them, and it got released in the store. I'd have to look up the date it came out, but yeah, it was just off the back of some Vici tournament win.
Yeah. They didn't win a
Shaman
TI,
has
did they?
fallen to the Dire.
No.
Vici?
No. Yeah, I was double checking.
The
right
Chinese winners have been Wings, IG,
Dire's
and
middle tower is under
Nuki.
attack.
By the way, the new Roshan, as we were seeing right there. So Aegis has been picked up now, Lifestealer. No, Lifestealer doesn't get it. That's TA gets it. That's right.
Yeah. At this point, they're so far ahead in the tempo of this game, they want to give it to who can hit towers the best. So they're just going to give that up to G, and basically it's going to post G into a situation he can always siege. Chaotic Offerings up. Like, yeah, Vega is firmly in hold of this game, even with the plays from Navi trying to keep them
Radiant's
in
middle
this.
tower is under attack.
Fiverr.
Dire's bottom
Blinding
tower
light
is
pushback.
under
He will
attack.
avoid the ice shards, but I don't think he's going to be able to avoid death right here, unfortunately.
Radiant's top tower
He will get
is under
taken out. So,
attack.
mentioned though, bottom secondary tower going to be pressured. Meanwhile, from the Radiant side,
Radiant
Navi trying to get a
structures
fair
are
trade of
fortified.
sorts right here. But Vega, they're going to keep the pressure up at the first tower
Under attack.
at the top lane. But again, I don't know if that's a trade they necessarily just want to give up by any means.
Radiant's
No, not
top
in this
tower
kind of
is under
situation.
attack.
I mean, they feel like they're there, they might as well take it, and they may still have time to defend this. The Darkseer's here to push the waves out.
Dire's middle tower has
Yeah,
fallen.
Darkseer good at that, level 4 Ion Shell. More than enough to push it out, and he's got the mech on top of the Arcane Boots, and interesting, he actually has a Rod of Atos queued up. That's not an item we get to see every day.
Yeah, it's just the fact that Root is starting to get more visibility. It totally stops ball lightning, so if you can get it on a Storm Spirit, super good.
Yeah. I remember that being talked about, like how Root just got so powerful, and heroes like Storm Spirit were going to be heavily nerfed as a result. But Rod of Atos just never really took off as an item. Now, General, by the way, he's going to be caught over here and trying to hookshot away, and he will be successful with that hookshots to his teammate. Now, Seneko could overgrowth and simply run with it. It's a full-on retreat move here from Navi, although Dendy had different plans. He kind of goes in and is like, hey, but he'll fall back. He has a Bloodstone now, and he has that regenerate actually even bottled up, so.
Just endy things.
Regeneration.
Low.
Yeah, I mean, Atos, the problem with it is it's fairly expensive. 3,100 gold, it's more than a Yule's, it's more than a Force Staff. It has less options to it than most of those cheaper items, and it doesn't give you any regen. which if you look at all the other items that people like to buy early game, especially on supports and offlaners, they give some form of regen. So you can spam your spells more, you can have more time outside of Fountain, and Atos doesn't really do that for you.
That's fair.
But
there's got to be some reason as to, oh yeah, Stormspear middle lane, he's trying to go for the kill on a Warlock. Meanwhile, Chaotic Offering is ready to go, but not saying he's going to commit to it by any means, but we'll see if maybe he gets enough support. Man, he's going to live, actually. That Shadow Word, not even maxed out, but it still does plenty.
Yeah, nice CPM though from Darkseer. That's what saved him. The mech and the Surge both getting him out of a bad spot.
While Coddle bottom lane gets picked up between the TA and the Lifestealer. But you see Seneko setting up, does not have Overgrowth, however, just going to open up with the bash right there. Unless Storm Spirit really commits to this, though, I don't think that they're going to be getting any kills out of it. Yeah, they will be able to fall back in time, and they have their own supports coming in now, so be too risky for Navi to chase. They decide to accept it, as meanwhile Pycat, though, he's going to push out the top lane. He has his Manta style. He's working on Diffusal, already 1,600 gold saved up. He's doing just fine.
Yeah, he is keeping them in this game. When the pressure was on their tier 1 top lane, he took mid T1, while his team was like bottom, right there, takes the T2 top. He's been splitting like crazy in his farm matches. He's on par with his TA that's gotten like 6 kills. Yeah, been involved in 6 kills. So, definitely in a good position.
Oh, TA's opening on Intendy right there. Again, they do have a tree protector nearby. Overgrowth going to be coming out as a result, and Storm Spirit making his gap here with that ball lightning, and he will be fine. So that's good for his sake. That tree protector happened to be hiding right next to him, living up to his name.
This is one of the signature Dundee things. If he gets into trouble, he won't ball lightning like a mile away into safety. He only ball lightnings as far as he thinks their range is, so he can save mana and look at going back in on stuff. Like, he almost died there, and he's almost full HP with full mana.
Yeah.
He's ready to fight already.
Well, Haster and bottled up definitely encourages that, as Juggernaut also being gone on could encourage that as well. Omni Slash is ready. Can he maybe get that off in time? Look for a turn. If anything, he'll survive. He will actually choose to spin instead. Chaotic Offering now. Wilson and Denny in the backlines is now here. Going for the kill on a Warlock. At least pick him up. But again, he's kind of done his job in a sense, so not to make a steal. Omni Slash now going out the bounce between a couple of units right there. But Lifestealer feeling most of the pain. And he will end up going down though. But geez, speaking of pain, he's dealing plenty of it himself. And Clockwork's going to end up falling. Trap going to miss right there on a Coddle, as G is going to chase. There's the Aegis use, by the way, or reclaim even. But it ends up being 3 kills in favor of Navi, as they got too committed trying to chase down Coddle at the very end of that.
Yeah, the Vega Squadron there was way too hesitant to use Chaotic Offering on Pycat. They caught him out very badly. Spin was still on cooldown. He wasn't in a great position to Omni Slash yet. The team wasn't there. But they hold the rock until his spin was back up. And as soon as the spin came out before the rock, it was pretty rough to bring that jug down.
Yeah.
Dire's middle tower.
And that's going to be Pycat's Diffusal. Like, he's huge.
That is, yeah, Juggernaut's not usually a hero you see skyrocketing like this. I mean, we see this hero often, obviously, for good reason, but he's not that flashy farmer usually.
You used to? There was a time where, like, every melee core went Battle Fury, and Juggernaut just, I mean, he took a lot of advantage of it. It wasn't like an AM, but
Over here now.
It's been a while since I've seen a Jug just have this kind of lead. Gonna go the pretty standard 3-item, I would imagine. Probably gonna see a blink into Basher.
Well, Warlock continue to scouting out right here. Observer ward has been placed, and has to be pretty careful though, as obviously they're in the area, and he sees that now. As General's looking for the chance for a hook shot, as that Solar Crest picked up. Nice enhanced damage to come. And they are going to catch Warlock in the backlines by the team. I mean, Dendy. He's just going in, balls to the wall. However, balls may be a little bit too big right now because he has to be careful about this. Warlock does eventually fall, but they are pretty deep. But you know what? They just don't care, Tusk. He's just dropping out too, and he will go down. So Vega Squadron just simply cannot react enough. And no Chaotic Offering especially. They do have Darkseer, but the wall's not going to be the best placement. And eventually everyone of Navi just kind of walks away. They're not even done just yet, actually.
Yeah,
this team is just go. They're totally ready to fight. Omni Slash still up. Hookshot and Overgrowth not, but not really a big issue.
And they'll fall back. Well, this is the case now of the Bloodstone definitely paying off. It's either one way or the other. You know, so much we've seen it on Lena's lately, especially where I feel like it's just been going down in charges. This Storm Spirit, man, 17 charges and counting here already. That's huge.
Yeah, he's massive. And I mean, I gotta give Dendy a huge hand for the way he's playing these team fights. He's putting Warlock in such an uncomfortable position every fight where he's forced to either rock early and very inefficiently or die. And Navi as a whole lineup is just playing so well around this Warlock, and we've seen what happens when teams are careful with how they engage into a Warlock team. The Chaotic Offering feels like it does less. You're never hitting 4 or 5-man bonds against a roster that's playing that way. And yeah, Navi flexing some strength here.
Yeah, I agree that Dendy especially is playing very well, but at the same time, the Doctor's General, he is he's going to be found here, living armor. I mean, he's tanky with that Solar Crest too, but not going to be tanky enough. And
Darkseer MVP vacuumed him behind the enemy lines, so the hook shot out ended up going right into G's face.
that's what happened. Dendy, he's going to go back in right here. Not going to get a kill. Again, just going barely away, though, with that ball landing, as you stressed earlier. Trying to keep nearby because the team is rotating in, and they're looking to make some big plays right here once again. So Chaotic Offering is up, though. And goes back to that's the key for Vega Squadron as usual. Lifestealer going on the uphill. He's going to regret that immediately. They're on the toggle. Splits off with the Manta style right there that he just got recently. The Overgrowth hits right after, though. But in comes the Chaotic Offering. They will catch Juggernaut. Juggernaut goes down. And now G trying to run down Dendy right here. However, the TP is going to be successful as he gets away. But they lose Juggernaut, and that time the Chaotic Offering does come through for Vega Squadron here.
Wow. That Lifestealer was so tanky, taking through the entire Omni Slash, not even really flinching.
Getting a Manta right before that fight. We saw him use it right there. And, he used it right before the Overgrowth, so that was kind of unfortunate, but it didn't matter in the end, of course. As now we see Tusk going to be initiated on, but they're doing this without Juggernaut, so they are missing out on quite a bit of damage. However, they will pick off Tusk. They're going to go for Lifestealer. Once again, we saw how tanky he was last time, though. I don't think it's going to be tanky enough this time, however. The Surge comes out, but he gets stunned, unfortunately, and he will end up falling right here. Silent also going to accept death, running back in. Maybe kill the Courier. That'd be fun. Not going to happen, so he goes down, and actually it is a very good hold for Navi despite being down the Juggernaut. They get 3, and damn it, Dendy wants more. The Blinding Light pushback once again. Biver making the big plays, and Afterlife is going to fall. Unstoppable streak indeed for Dendy. 21 Bloodstone charges now. That regen's insane.
And Ashiva's. All of the damage on Vega is pretty much physical, so just so hard to bring down as well. 26 armor on him. Just... he's a beast. Dendy's so far ahead.
I want to go to that point now real quickly. Is that you look at this lineup, by the way, Vega Squadron, it is a horrible team against Storm Spirit, and that makes that final pick Storm Spirit that much better. It's like it's almost like obvious now in that final pick spot from Navi because their lockdown is so little to none.
Yeah, but okay, so TA had such a big lead. I could have seen Blink Deso into an Orchid and then going into eventual Bloodthorn with it, and it would have been perfectly fine. It would have cut a lot of Storm Spirit's potential out of the game. But feeling the pain of the Overgrowth too much, had to go on Manta just to get out of it. But we see the Orchid queued up now. That was my thought, was, okay, if you don't have a lot of lockdown for Storm, you kind of do. You just have to let it get off. It's in Snowball, it's in Tusk Punch, it's in Warlock Ult. And you just have to lock the Storm down for a quarter second to get those off. And I had thought an Orchid was going to come out either on Lifestealer or TA a lot earlier.
Well, and they don't have it, and Storm Spirit is just
punished.
One of those heroes, yeah, especially with the Bloodstone. He has the potential to kind of get crazy in that snowball effect, and we definitely are seeing that here from Dendy in this case for Navi. So that with the Shivas, as you talked about, all that physical damage being reduced now. He has his own Orchid going to be coming along. Already one of the Oblivion stabs finished. And the bottom tower kill easily happening there in favor of Navi. You got Juggernaut. He, too, is obviously continuing to do very well as we stressed throughout this game. And he now has that Butterfly queued up in the works. Actually has the Talisman of Evasion here currently. So nice benefit against the TA and Lifestealer already. But no, not a full Butterfly. Oh, wow, Tusk. Yeah, that was ambitious move on his part. Blinding Light pushback, he's dead. Oh, nice Chaotic Offering into the vacuum wall combination as well. And they're caught kind of an awkward spot. Is Navi, or is it actually Vega Squadron the one that's in an awkward spot? As they're being spun right on top, and Lifestealer going to Infest Bomb, though. He gets a kill on a Clockwork, trying to hold his ground right here, and it will be enough for the kill onto Dendy as well for the first time this game. So that 7-kill streak stopper happening right there, and they are going to lose Juggernaut as the Aegis comes out. But now Dendy is trying to come back in. Again, he had those Bloodstone charges, so he comes up very quickly. Plycat, he's spinning away, but guess who's back? It's Dendy, bitches. He goes in on a Lifestealer right here, but he needs to be careful about it. Vacuum wall to pull him on in. Dendy now realizing that, yeah, he has to get on out. It's going to be a lost cause. At least try to save the Juggernaut, but it doesn't happen. and Juggernaut does end up falling in the end. So that's a victory for Vega Squadron, and that has to feel good because Navi was really on a tear there for a little.
Yeah, and the itemization to stop Storm Spirit is starting to come out there. The Rod of Athos is up on Darkseer. He connected with the root, and Dendi had to get scared. He took a ton of damage there in just the short root duration.
BKB, you think that's an option now Storm Spirit actually has to think about, despite, again, we stress out overall this team is not the greatest lockdown, but that Rod of Athos alone almost feels like it's pretty strong.
The problem with BK, Walrus Punch and Chaotic Offering will still go through it. So while it's really nice, you may be leaning more towards the Lincolns.
Okay. That route too. Yeah, that probably makes a little more sense as far as the synergy of the hero too, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I think they're both going to do similar things. Like, Lincolns can get relatively easily popped by a Snowball or a Shadow Word or something like that. But then again, yeah, there's BKB piercing stuns.
Yeah. It's,
so you just take the fact that Lincoln does better stats and go that way.
Yeah, how about this, by the way? They pick off Lifestealer and then they pick off Tusk while we're, kind of analyzing what just happened in the last fight. So it's like, nah, we didn't even think about it happening. And again, Denny was up very quickly because of the Bloodstone charges he had, so he's already back to work and back up to 16 charges with that said. But, yeah, whenever about the idea of the Lincolns, I understand that, yes, that should be a little bit of a deterrent at least, that, okay, they have other abilities that can take it away, but you still have to use said abilities in team fights where it can be chaotic at times and, lots going on. I'm not saying these top-tier players can't take care of that, but it's still the fact that they have to do that beforehand. And, being a top-tier player, you'd expect that they could possibly get that time to react then when they see it be popped. So, still overall, I think it's a good item.
And, it's a little more versatile. You can put it on your Juggernaut if he's in front, or he's going to eat a big ability. And that flexibility can be the difference sometimes. Ooh, Arcane Rune on Dendi. This is the Dream Storm Rune.
That's true. Yeah, he's going to use it right here. Pops it with the Shivas. TA is in trouble. Dust comes down, so the Meld's not going to save him here. In fact, nothing's going to save him. Omni Slash committed, but again, that's a kill you definitely want, and he's dead for 75 seconds at this point.
Yeah, Denny just spent the rough equivalent of like 3,800 mana to do that. That's how insane Arcane Rune is.
Did he really? Yeah. Jeez.
Yeah, it's 40% mana cost reduction, and he burned his entire mana pool. So.
Well then, that's they got the kill. Again, even the Omni Slash coming out, and TA, he is the most farmed in the game, so yeah, you got to really go all out on him. And
if you force a buyback out of him, I mean, it's massive. His tempo gets just dropped, and he's so close to finishing the Orchid.
Well, you got Vega Squadron now kind of pinned in their base currently while they're waiting for TA to respawn here. So Navi just taking advantage, kind of pushing in the lanes elsewhere and being patient, maybe try to wait for a pick chance, but not going to happen just yet. Another Solar Crest, by the way, as Treant Protector also picks one up.
They want one for each of the course. There's so much physical damage on the side of Vega, and the TA is the one that's way ahead, and she's not going MKB. So they just desperately want to get these Solar Crests online, keep one on Dendi and one on Pycat.
Yeah, this is Treant Protector too. So a lot of the times I also feel like, going back to, I know we were stressing it from the beginning of the draft even, that's like, I feel like Treant Protectors kind of fall behind in farm quite a bit. And they really struggle to get set items, but man, Seneko, he is not feeling that at all. Not only the Solar Crest, but that Blink Dagger on top of that, the Tranquil Boots in full. Like, he's doing just fine this game.
Yeah, I thought the Warlock had a very greedy early game in getting level 6 that early, getting a Midas first, and getting to it at a fairly okay timing. But the supports on Navi were just as greedy. I mean, the Coddle sat bottom blasting creep waves once Juggernaut rotated at 6 for quite a while. And then, yeah, Seneco's still been able to find farm too, hitting a few creeps here and there himself.
So across the board, looking good for Navi again, despite, there was the bottom hold there for Vega Squadron, so they definitely show that they can hold, but Navi overall has the lead here, about a 6,500 net worth lead as we see up that nice little bar at the top here. Middle lane.
Orchid's up on Dendi. Keep in mind, look for him going on Warlock here.
There you go. He is going to jump Warlock right off the bat, so no Chaotic Offering this fight unless he can't kill him quick enough. He cannot. Glimmer Cape is popped, and now will he find the chance to use it? It looks like now is the chance. There it goes down. Omni Slash was bouncing around. General's trying to live now as he's running away. Overgrowth does commit and lock down a little bit, but the chase still continues. General, though, the cog's going up. Nobody dead for the longest time. Finally, Warlock will fall, and now Pycat, he's trying to run, though. Juggernaut trying to play the
Still got
surviving
healing
game in the
ward.
background, so you see Dendy going after TA, and Dendy will get the kill on a TA. That's a key one because he's dead for 80 seconds. No buyback. They get the kill on a Tusk as well. And now here comes a turn from Navi. The healing ward is put down. And Lifestealer, a couple of auto attacks. Nice armlet toggle right there. And gets the support from the Darkseer. But Dendy, you talk about going in, being a YOLO player himself. He will be YOLO there, and he gets the kill on a Darkseer as all the match comes out. And is this going to be a complete cleanup in favor of Navi? It looks like a triple kill for Dendy. He's back up to 21 Bloodstone charges, and nobody has a buyback here.
Dire's middle
Wow.
tower is under attack.
You gotta kill healing ward. That's about all I have to say.
Dire's structures
Look, Navi's full. I mean, they're entirely full. Pycat microed that ward so well. It wasn't that they weren't trying to. It was just they couldn't get to it.
Yeah.
What a great fight from Navi. It would have been better if they got the Warlock to start it off. He got a great Bond's Catic offering off, but just not quite enough, and the healing ward doing so much work.
Yeah. It's amazing to me that that fight did go so well for Navi, considering Warlock lived the initial onslaught, and then, as you say, actually got a really good placement of the Chaotic offering off too. But you know that's where that counter initiation comes into play. As to be fair as well, you know Snako popped the overgrowth, that also caused issues in the midst of it, and then the healing ward put down. But you got to kill it. But good micro. What was that?
Fiverr got off. It was daytime into Coddle with an Ags.
Okay.
Like Fiverr got off 3 or 4 pretty good Illuminates in that fight, and every one of those, if he's charging them up all the way, is 500 health. Just insta-healed to any ally that runs through the path, so a ton of sustain here on this Navi lineup.
And there's
I
that
just want to
Lincoln.
point out, like, did you see how far Snako blinked and got the stun on Lifestealer there?
Yeah.
He got him past the shrine and was below the base when that started.
Yeah. That was pretty ridiculous. But again, as a team, they committed at that point. They were saying, you know what, we want this kill. And I think they felt pretty confident, too, that nobody had a buyback the way they were all just staying dead right there as they're trying to retreat into the base. So,
I mean, I also just think Navi's style is you don't care if they do or not.
you say if you have
You
it.
won the
you
fight,
have
man. We're getting 5 or we're all dying for it. Let's
Yeah.
go.
I mean, they're gamblers, but paid off right there big time. Win the jackpot of sorts and haven't won the game just yet, but man, you know, I was just stressing before that, 6,500 net worth lead, now it's a 20,000 net worth lead.
Yeah, it snowballs so fast. Dendy Lincoln's is now online, so that's massive. rough stuff here from Vega in a game that looked okay.
Oh, yeah. And again, they're the ones with that coming off the 2-0 victory over Navi earlier in this event, as we're stressing. So the rematch here, and Navi now has the better of it so far. And only game 1, though, in this best of 3, so not to get too ahead of ourselves. But Navi also coming off the momentum yesterday. I believe they beat Alliance in another event that we were just talking about. So
Yeah, another really rough showing from Alliance. They started one game down like 0-8 in 4 minutes or something.
yeah.
It was a bit painful. I mean, look at the Lifestealer, though. This poor guy just flatlined. He opted for a Manta because he thought Overgrowth was just screwing him that hard, that he needed a way to get out of it. And just hasn't gotten anything since. Literally has not gotten a single item in, like, 15 minutes.
I feel like if you...
Dendy?
What's his, yeah, Denny's just around the... he's going deep, man, again, trying to kill Darkseer, but he will back out this time around. Going back to the Dream Protector once again, if you can pick up a hero like that that forces an odd pickup in the man style, I mean, again, I know it's not useless by any means, but again, he's not getting maximum efficiency because he's not the agility-focused hero. So forcing him to get said item as you're stressing is like, that's already kind of a win in some ways. You know, having the hero alone kind of does that. So another reason why Dream Protector is a strong pickup. Hit again. Oh, but Dream Protector going to get caught right here with a couple, but out comes the Crimson Guard, actually. And here comes the support now as Juggernaut. He's going to actually start running away, but Dendy, he's doing his thing in the back lines. Tusk, he's dropping low himself. But a big overgrowth on 5 heroes. Oh, there's a lot of illusions there. He was Omni/goes off as well. And going from hero to hero. Gets a call to Darkseer. Down goes Tusk. Now they will lose Dream Protector. Actually, Dendy's having some trouble with the Lifestealer over here, it looks like. But Warlock also having trouble against many others. And he ends up falling. Blinding Light pushes TA over the ledge, but it's just not going to matter. TA goes down. And Lifestealer's like, well, I tried.
Go for him.
We saw what happened last time. Yeah, of course they're going. There's the Vortex pulling right back in, and there's the kill. And if you're Vega, I think that GG is looking pretty appetizing here.
Finish him.
Nope. They want to buy back. They want a chance. That was interesting timing right there. The vacuum. Well, kind of pulled them in, stalled them a little bit, but the last-ditch effort here definitely for Vega Squadron, that is. But TA is going to be pulling that Illuminate going through, and again, you see the damage from it, as well as Pycat putting in plenty of auto attacks, and TA, that's a tieback for him. Lifestealer just simply trying to be that last stand effort, but it's not going to happen. GG is going to be called, and Navi will take game number 1 here. Overall, looking pretty good.
I liked the draft out of Vega, I really did, but they all just needed 1 or 2 more items. Your TA needed to get to BKB, and your Lifestealer just needed to get to anything. And the Navi they found their opening, and holy hell did they push it. They got that Aegis up on Jug, took 2 towers, a big base team fight, and then everything just went to hell. I mean, Dendi definitely MVP, with the Coddle being a close second. I think the only thing I'm disappointed in slightly was their use of the clockwork. I mean, we've seen General make way bigger performances than that, but he just didn't have to, I guess, this game. The rest of his team did everything they needed.
I was just looking at the inventory. I just happened to glance at the inventories at the end there, and you mentioned clockwork. He had a butterfly.
It's not quite as good as the double Chrysalis build he did like yesterday on Darkseer, or 2 days ago on Darkseer.
Yeah,
but
that's something.
Yeah, General. I don't know if it's lost them a game explicitly yet. I'd have to go back and look. But pretty much once he feels like they have a lead, he buys whatever he wants.
Yeah.
He's just like, what's going to be a meme? What's going to make Twitch chat laugh?
Well, I also looked at that. You mentioned Dendi. I mean, obviously, we mentioned Dendi plenty of times that game for good reason. He was zip-zapping around doing Storm Spirit things, getting kills, and you also see the damage difference. 32,000 plus damage. Nobody was even close. The next closest was 20,000. His teammate Juggernaut and TA on the other side were there, so he just was wrecking left and right, and kind of that momentum controller for the team. So that's going to do it, though, for game number 1, guys. Again, best of 3, however, so Vega Squadron going to try to get some revenge here in game 2, force a third game, but Navi would like to clean it up here and move on to the playoff stage. Well, we're going to find out which of these 2 teams will be moving on with game number 2. Going to be coming up next on Breaking CPK, joined by Z-Rock, guys. Stay tuned. The Summit 7 European qualifiers continue next. Vega Squadron, Navi, here in this best of 3. Game number 2, Navi up 1-0 here. Elimination match. The winner moves on to the playoffs. The loser is done here in the Summit 7 European qualifiers. We're going to find out if we're going to a Game 3 or not. Right here with, again, Navi up 1-0. I'm Bricky CPK, joined by Z-Rock here. Wait, I have to double check. Is this a replay? No, this is a live game here. This is Deja Vu, though, because we got the same things. There we go. There's a little bit of different.
Navi.
We have Disruptor second pick. All right.
Just had to confuse you a little bit. You know?
Dire team
Yeah.
ban.
Make you wonder. I'm really glad Navi keeps first banning this Terrorblade. Vega is one of like 3 teams I think that should be picking it pretty much every game. It's like them, OG, well, maybe just those 2.
Dire team
But
ban.
anyway, it is first banned out, so putting Vega kind of in a spot where they can't fall back on comfort picks, and just the same bans out of Navi, all of them here.
Navi's
And we see
turn.
Vega mixing it up here, getting rid of the Coddle and the Clockwork, saying, try something new, Navi. What do you got?
Well, yeah, they are going to have to try something new indeed, and let's hope they got multiple dimensions to them, because that's those bans are going
10
to force them to, as you're
remaining.
getting at now. Storm Spirit again was kind of the key last game. We stressed it.
5
It was such a
seconds
smart
remaining.
final pick, to be fair as well, because of the lineup of Vega Squadron and how across the board they
Reserve
clearly
time.
were lacking crowd control for the most part. They do get Disruptor now. He brings a little bit more, you could argue, but it's not like. It's not like, okay, they can't pick Storm Spirit now. I mean, they still couldn't be just fine. They definitely need something else to go along with the Disruptor at the
Dire
very
team
least. Warlock will be taken by Navi, though.
Any stun at this point, though, because what Disruptor does is gives you an ability that guarantees you can get something off on the Storm. And so if you pick a stun after that, Spirit Breaker works just fine.
Navi
Then you can static
turn
into
to
stunning him, and from there on out, it's not nearly as bad. Disruptor's kind of the enabler, because like if they would have had that last game, then it's a lot easier to drop Caddic Offerings on him or Tusk Punch him. Any of the CC options they did have available.
10 seconds remaining.
So Vega with the SP Darkseer, they're gonna run at you.
5 seconds remaining.
Yeah, that's going to be annoying. It's Navi definitely has the work cut out for them here. It's definitely a
Reserve
stressful combination to go up against. I mean, having the Shatter Word will be nice a little bit there, but it's that Ion Shell with the Spear Breaker running at you, getting some bash procs even thrown in there. It's bound to be a tough time for Navi. So, how do they respond to that? This 4th pick.
Well, all right. So you know Vega's going to be playing hyper aggressive at the level 3 to 5 mark on their off lane. Vega also has a nice little 3-man opening here as far as a recovery potential. If they're behind, the chance for hitting a vac wall into a kinetic field static storm is there, and that'll turn a fight unless you're down like 20,000 gold. So if you're Navi, you want to be looking for greedy but safe heroes. So the storm could still be an option. I could see a TA being an option for them as well here. The Ion Shell does indeed just destroy Refraction, but it's a hero that once you blink, you can be relatively safe. The Puck, definitely a very strong potential here out of Navi. And it kind of pairs well with the Warlock tree. It's just a question of, are you too all in on Teamfight if you go that way?
Yeah.
Because you've already got Overgrowth, you already have Caddic Offering. Teamfights are kind of your bag right now. And even though Vega's Teamfight lineup looks pretty good, you can't fight into bonds. Like, you just can't. Every team that's tried has lost, and every team that's just either avoided team fights or made them very chaotic in multiple front has just picked the Warlock apart. So the Nyx is good here, especially if they want to go an Invoker.
Oh, yeah.
We've seen the power of the Nyx Invoker combo and setting up Sunstrikes and just applying a ton of damage. Most notably, it was one of the China games last night I was watching as I was going to bed. They ran a Nyx Sand King with an Invoker in mid, and it demolished.
Navi's turn
They got a
to
level
ban.
1 first blood off the back of Burrow into Impale into Sunstrike. So if I'm Vega, that's what this draft is screaming out to me. It's not necessarily like a signature Dendy hero, but come on. When you've played Pro Dota since the beginning, I feel like you have to pick
10
up
seconds
Invoker.
remaining.
I would hope Dendy's at least has the potential to play it.
5
I mean,
seconds
as you said,
remaining.
he's definitely one of these players that's been around forever. So I assume
Reserve
that
time.
his hero pool is pretty much anything that makes sense with the lineup here.
Well, in pubs, I know he's played it a ton. He has like 600 games on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so he's played it in competitive, 118 games.
with a sub 50% win rate. It's the only hero he's played with that many games that has a negative win rate.
Oof.
It's actually the only hero in his top 20 with a negative win rate, period. So we'll have to see. Yeah, then his win rates are monstrous. It's like 60% on anything he's got 60 games on or more, except in
5 seconds remaining.
So we'll have to see. Vega picking up the Slark here. This does a couple things for them. It gives them a very nice way to take these fights very late game. You just trade constantly, get a bunch of essence shift stacks, and then you're just this beast running around. And it provides a buff target. So they could also look to an Invoker themselves between Pounce and Spirit Breaker Charge. You've got a couple ways to get that off. But I like something like a Puck out of Vega more, actually, than even on Navi. It rounds out their draft nicely, because they're not as cooldown reliant. You've got Glimpse to pull people back. Static Storm works super well with Coil, maybe even better than with Kinetic Field, because if they're stunned under a Static Storm, it's even better than being Kinetic Fielded. So
10 seconds.
we'll have to see what they want to go here. Lena's still an option that's in the pool. That's been picked a
5
lot
seconds remaining.
with mixed success.
Yeah.
I'm assuming you were sleeping already. You didn't see the Lena with the MKB yesterday, did you?
No. I didn't watch that.
Lena went like a pure right-click build and destroyed her axe in like 3 seconds. It was filthy.
That was in the Chinese Dota?
I believe so. I think it was LG. I think it was Vici against LGD, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, I was half asleep. So we do see a TA ban here on a Navi, not wanting to give that back to Vega, thinking it was a problem in the early game. The OD ban, I see the idea behind it, but I feel like your team already handled it pretty well, but just doesn't want to play against an OD. That's fair. That's kind of what you get to do on the 5th ban.
Yeah. What do we not?
Well,
want
part of
to
it is if OD gets desperate and just slams an ult, it can actually break Vega's team if it does no damage. If you burn out, because it's a huge mana burn if it doesn't hit a damage threshold, and if you're burning out Darkseer, Disruptor, and Slark's mana pool, they become so much less effective.
Dragon Knight.
Oh no. DK's back.
Navi's turn to pick.
I
Dragon
saw
Knight.
hints of this. I saw it a lot yesterday. NA ran it twice, China ran it twice. Just a super tanky hero that actually has tower sieging ability. So it gives them a safe option in the mid lane, something that can stand up to the tree. And are we going to see Dendy Timber?
Huh.
That's a relatively new one, actually.
Unless it goes Warlock. No, it's Timbersaw.
No. You're a couple years too late for that one.
Huh. So that was an interesting finish. Dragon Knight into Timbersaw as the mid
Yeah,
options.
Timber does fare very well into the DK matchup. Neither of them should die, ever. They both have a ton of armor, which means the massive damage out of tree right clicks are going to do way less. Spirit Breaker's ganks aren't going to do much. So after level 3, it's going to be extremely hard to bring either of these mid laners down. And they're just going to have this little farming, fighting, do nothing war in middle, right up until about the point Denny hits 5 or 6. And that's the point it tips heavily in Timber's favor. Once you get up the
5
Chakram,
seconds
then
remaining.
all of a sudden you have the chance to catch and just do this insane amount of burst damage.
Well, we get a fun finish there at the draft and setting up for an entertaining game number 2 here. Again, 1-0 lead in favor of Navi. Trying to close it out and move on to the playoff stage here, the Summit 7 qualifiers for the European CIS region even. So, get to see the towers and the still broken screen here.
Yeah, and just to reiterate, guys, this is the deciding series. Whoever wins this goes to playoffs. Navi with the 1-0 lead after getting 2-0'd by Vega in the first round of this tournament. So, kind of a fighting back up through the losers bracket style here.
Yeah.
I mean, that happens even in a Swiss format.
Right now, taking a look at the brackets real quickly as we're in the pause to start things off. Again, Alliance has already advanced on from Group B here. They're the ones that knocked down Vega Squadron in a best of 3 yesterday. And then we have Empire from Group B. So, going to at least be a couple of CIS teams, obviously with Empire already qualifying in one of these two. But the other one's going to be Mouse Sports versus Pro Dota, as we were talking about earlier. That'll be tomorrow, though. And again, right now it's scheduled to be 3 best of 3s tomorrow, as will it be Mouse Sports versus Pro Dota, and then it'll also be the beginning of the playoff stage, if I'm not mistaken. So, It's
Yeah, and I believe it's going to be Empire versus the winner of this game. So if Navi does compete in this
Yes.
and move on, it's going to be the two CIS teams in a grudge match starting things off, and then Alliance versus their winner is going to be the follow-up series. And I love Swiss style. I really do. This group stage format, the way where the winners play the winners, losers play the losers, and then you have a decider game.
Yeah.
The fact that we get to see something like this kind of storyline in a group stage is just awesome. You know, Vega coming out with a strong 2-0 to start it off, and then Navi grinding their way back through. These are the kind of stories I like in these tournaments.
Well, it's essentially so this isn't Swiss technically. This is GSL format. It's more the reverse. Swiss.
It's four-man Swiss. If it was GSL, you'd just play everyone in your group, and then they'd seed you out of it.
No. Honestly, they might be the same thing, but GSL format
Sort of.
I've always known as it's basically like a mini bracket, it's a mini double elimination, kind of like what this is. Where Swiss is actually what we had at the Kiev, and where you don't play everyone technically, you just keep playing it, but you keep playing people that have your same record basically. So I guess, yeah, in a sense, it's also similar to. It's actually probably Swiss, referred to Swiss as well. To be fair, I think we're both right.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, well, I get what you mean here.
Anyways,
Yeah.
But what I was going to say about that, yeah, we actually had this. See, this was just a different way to do it though, because this was actually more similar to what the Boston Major was with the group stages.
Yeah.
But the biggest problem with that was, so again, for an event like this where there's only 8 teams and it's not nearly as, obviously it's still a big tournament, it's $100,000 land, but it's qualifiers for the regions. It's fine to have an event set up like this where the biggest criticism, though, of the Boston Major format was that they kind of almost like randomly shoved teams into each group. And it's like, well, how did they get there? Well, just because, it's like these imaginary seedings that kind of, set up for some teams to put them at a disadvantage earlier on. So,
Well, and since we're paused, we have some time to talk about this. And there's merits and downsides to every single structure. In a perfect world, Swiss with a full 16-team roster is probably the most fair way to do it, but it gets to lead to some weird matchups, and some people don't like that. But CSGO's GSL seeding system, I think, is really solid, where they take their Legends teams, basically anyone that placed high enough in the last major, and those guys go into a pool where they're randomly drawn, and then they do tiered qualifiers. So basically the people that qualified in the first set of tiers are in one pool, and they draw out of those. And then the last chance tier are in their own pool, and they draw out of those, and those build your groups. And
Yeah.
I think that's a better way to do it.
that's what the World Cup does, I'm pretty sure. Like that's what these big traditional sports tournaments even do. I believe it's very similar, if not that kind of format as well. So, yeah, the idea of actually a drawing stage, like broadcasting a drawing stage, I feel like would be so fun, right? Like that would actually be really cool if one of these majors, especially, was to do something along those lines. But
That would be really cool to see. And the other thing I'd like to see, if we ever got to that point of stability, would be like if teams actually got secure and had these big sponsor deals, and your livelihood is made more on like a franchise style versus a did you win this tournament style. I would love like a yearly draft season where you have a week where it's drafts open and all the unsigned players get announced, and there's this big signing, and rather than the let's update Reddit furiously after every major. Wow, Slayer got it.
yeah, that was well played by
Seema ended
Seema.
up getting the charge in. That was sick.
Perfect timing right there. Yeah, no, that's the discussion we could definitely save for another time, and maybe on a certain podcast show that I do. I'm just saying. Top pro.
Oh, do you want me as a repeat guest? Man? I
That's
don't know.
that's actually awkward because I don't. So
Yeah.
maybe
Yeah.
I can talk with somebody else about it. No. All right, back to this game though. We got game number 2 again. So Navi versus Vega, as it suggests at the top here. Even it's a
All right.
1-0 lead for Navi.
Let's talk about the lane situation here. So we've got an aggro trail in on Navi. Benefit of aggro tries, you put a ton of pressure on Slark, who is an awful laner pre-6, and you stop their supports from roaming. This is going to keep the Spirit Breaker pinned in the top lane for most of the early game here, taking a lot of pressure off of potential roams down on Dendi. The trade-off on this is General is going to be stuck in the spot lane.
Wow. God, I hate myself right now.
Did you miss it?
See, technically I didn't because I literally caught it right as he flipped over dead. But I missed the important stuff, yes.
All right.
I happen to be going to the other
we'll give you
lanes
the
quickly.
competitive breakdown right now.
Slark didn't realize there was an Invis tree standing on top of him. Slark skilled up too early and took Essence Shift instead of Pounce at level 1 against Trilane. Slark fell over and died because he had no movement skill. Pretty much the entire extent of that engagement.
Yeah, you're right. Going Essence Shift, I mean, obviously if he's just having a free farm lane, if this was going to be the Nyx assassin up here as he probably expected, then that makes sense. But yeah, not sitting on that skill point, that's one of those small things that you could suggest. That's definitely a mistake there.
Yeah, and it bites him bad here because now the Slark's got to get to 2 still, which he's going to do on this creep wave. But then he's probably going to take Pounce. And if you take Pounce, then you can't purge off the stun, you can't purge off Shadow Word. So he's going to be vulnerable here for another minute or 2.
Yeah. Well, that's an unfortunate start, to say the least, for Vega Squadron, but obviously that's where Navi and their decision to go aggressive trial lane definitely pays off already, so well played there. How about this matchup, though? Middle lane again. You talked about we got Timbersaw versus DK. Not often we're going to say that, but Timbersaw perhaps has the advantage here.
It is a really interesting matchup at the theory level. It is one of the most boring matchups in practice. Then he's probably not even going to get Timber Chains until like level 7, level 8. So we're going to watch them just farm, and then he's going to queue every now and then, G's going to queue every now and then, and that's about it.
So keep the camera at the top lane, like I should have been doing from the beginning. That's what you're saying, yeah. All right.
Yeah, because bot lane shouldn't do anything either. Nyx is going to get a point or 2 in Mana Burn, just Mana Burn the Darkseer over and over. Those 2 lanes should be entirely stagnant until like level 6.
Ooh, Kinetic Field going to keep the bash chance away from Tree and Protector with that Nature's guys. Running him down.
And I like this item build here from Snako. He got a bunch of gold early on, and instead of getting boots, which would have let him run at stuff harder, he goes a Poor Man's. His armor is so bad that Poor Man's lets you take some hits without just losing all your HP on Tree.
Yeah, that is interesting, actually. Not often you see that on a Tree and Protector right off the bat, but has that with the Orb of Venom now, so he's definitely quite the harasser here. Speaking of that, Spear Breaker.
He's not in a good spot right now, though.
Yeah, Poor Man's Shield bulks him up, but if he's going to run into 3 heroes, I don't know if he's going to be able to survive through it. He's definitely going to be taking too much pressure, and he will go down. Dark Pact is picked up now by Slark here as he hits level 3. And to help keep him alive and also maybe get some kills in the end. But yeah, Tree Protector, just as we're getting at, he's tanky, and it's a good build. He probably felt a little too tanky there.
Yeah, I think he thought he was invis when he was looking over at Spirit Breaker. Like, he was near the tree line for a while, but he moved slightly out, which reset the timer. And, yeah, just got caught. Yeah. What else is there to say?
Unfortunate turn of events for him. Dendy, he sees the invis rune top. He's going to come back mid and doesn't want to miss any CS, but he knows he's in position to pick that up when he wants to. With that bottle of his.
I will say, General's playing this bot lane insanely well. Like, Darkseer should be 10 CS ahead by now. Is actually like 5 down. And it's strictly because of how well General's managing his mana pool, making sure he finds Darkseer, and not letting Darkseer run up with Ion Shells. So, nicely done from him. It's going to be a nice little gold lead for Nyx that Navi probably wasn't expecting.
Oh, Pycat, also know he's definitely hitting creeps like a boss here, and that's showing off. 23-5. Slark, though, he's keeping up. He's 21-2. He did get a little bit of the jungle there, but still, overall, doing solid. But yeah, see these rotations coming out. You got Spirit Breaker all the way to the bottom lane now. Speaking of that Nyx success, they want to keep that in check. And top lane, Disruptor's going to port back in, but now it is a 3 versus 2 in favor of Navi here. Oh, Pounce. They're going for Sadeko. He's actually going to have to TP out, but he's taking the tower damage, but he gets out. And no, he does not get out in time. What am I saying? He got clips back right there and eventually killed off. So now Pycat actually on the run. Dark Pact going off right there. Did use that magic stick. It's not enough, though. He goes down. Warlock at least will escape, but well, that worked out beautifully for Vega.
Yeah, minor positioning mistakes from Snako are really costing him in this lane. Just, you can't play up under tower. That's just way too risky. He got pounced in tower range. Afterlife, though, in a bit of trouble. No boots yet. Oh, not going to be brave? All right.
He's going to run here. General wants to chase after him, though. He does have an impel.
Yeah,
Pycat is
Navi's calling this lane lost. I mean, they're just going back to a defensive try. It's not about killing the Darkseer. It's about just getting Pycat farm again.
Yeah.
They're calling the trial lane done. They ended up getting General level 5, almost level 6. So pretty good time to call this loss if you're going to. He can go ahead and roam around with Vendetta very shortly, and that's going to be potential kill on anybody except G. It's going to take like 4 heroes to kill G in the mid lane.
Wow, another dragon form activated by DK. He's just simply using it to farm and harass with. So he's gonna have to be careful though with the next assassin being here now though. But Timbersaw, level 3 reactive armor, so he's not feeling too scared. 4-man Jail Bottle has a very far worse case.
Yeah, he did opt for 1 point in Timber Chain, which is not super common on mid Timbers, but wanted the mobility and the little bit of extra burst when he hits 6. So we'll give him a little more flexibility there at the cost of some Q damage.
Timbersaw, yes, comes the charge
Top lane,
actually.
top lane.
Well, I'm watching Timbersaw actually. He's also in a lot of trouble right here. Stun comes out from TK and Timbersaw will fall top lane. It's
Ooh, Nyx's Vendetta on
Okay.
top of Slark and wanted to go. Never actually pulled the trigger, but... So yeah, Dundee falling, I was busy staring at top. Was he not as, like, with any reactive stacks? How did he end up dying?
I don't even know. I feel like he did, but honestly, the Spirit Breaker just charged in, and then with a port in from Disruptor as well, DK landed his stun after with the Tail Whip and Dragon Tail even, and just simply did more than enough damage to take him out. So
I like Tail Whip. Let's rename it.
yeah, and it was Tail something.
And he's going home, boys.
Oh yeah, he just got glimpsed, didn't he? That's awkward.
Disaster.
Yep. See ya back at base. That's got to be careful when TPing in against the Disruptor. So he's going to have to walk all the way back, and Elder Dragon form activated again by the Dragonite right here. So DK, he's been doing fantastic. Not only has that kill now, but 46-9 here, as takes a little bit of pressure from the Q, the Whirling Death of Timbersaw.
Yeah. The real U does have a Midas in his quick buy right now. And if he does end up committing to that, that kind of tells you that Vega is perfectly content running this game as long as they can. They're in no hurry to go early. They don't feel like they need the Shadow Blade on Slark for the early pressure. So we'll have to see if he does commit to that. The one risk of that is if General gets a couple kills and gets ahead, Real U is going to be food for him for a very, very long time.
Darkseer right here. He doesn't know he's in a bit of a trap situation. He has a surge, but gonna need to use it pretty quickly. Bash. Yeah, he gets the bash off. It's only level 1, or it's level 2 actually, but
That's a
it's not
really
enough.
really long surge.
Yeah, the Shadow Word's gonna not
Last
be
tick.
enough damage. Oh man, that was actually really close. Regen though, just enough to keep him alive. So I'll make it back. But you're right, that surge seemed like it lasted forever. Right there, 6 seconds even.
Yeah, it's long.
Keeps him alive.
And that's what you get by not going that early point in the vacuum or that early point in the wall. You just get a lot more flexibility in it for yourself, where you really should never die. It'd take a pretty big misstep.
Yeah.
Dendy on the roam, looking to go top lane, try to kill Silent here. I don't think he's gonna see him. Yeah.
Yeah, they had the ward middle too to see him running up towards that way, if anything. So it's clearly a rotation, and Silent's just like, yeah, I'm not going to stick around. No point.
I'll take that as tribute.
So Timbersaw wasting a little bit of time here, unfortunately. But General, again, he has Vendetta. He's almost kind of using Timbersaw as bait here.
He needs to find a kill with his Vendetta. He got a ton of gold early game, has Arcanes in 1,000. He needs to get to the 2k mark and then decide when he wants to go. Whether it's going to be Blink or Force or Dagon or even a Midas. But he needs one kill somewhere. Oh, he can't quite get into those trees without being seen. If Dendy caught him, he could. Rip.
Radiant's bottom tower
Poured out
is
there,
under
so he's
attack.
fine. Yeah, I was going to say, if he cut them, but at the same time, if you're Spirit Breaker, it's like, what? What are you doing now?
Well, you could just throw a Chakram like top right and say, "Did you juke up here?" And
Yeah, true.
oops, I missed. The smoke though from Silent might get popped from General here. He saw it. He just didn't quite get in range to pop it, so it was called out. We'll see if Navi be careful. English is
Navi,
hard
be
in the
careful.
morning.
Middle lane. Slark needed to be careful. Unfortunately, not careful enough. He gets taken out. Static Storm not really doing the most, though, because Kinetic Field was late from Silence. He glimpsed him back in, but that was just a desperate move on his part at that point. Trying to, make up a little bit at least. But nice find by General there.
Exactly what he needs. Because, I mean, the Midas looks like it's going to come online around 12 to 13 minutes now, which, if he didn't find that kill, you're looking at 16, 17, and that's really bad.
Yeah. Darkseer continues to work through the jungle here of the Radiant side. is in a position to maybe set up a flank of sorts in the middle lane, but he's more concerned about farm right now. Getting that mech finished, of course. Going to be found by Treant Protector, though. Treant is level 6, did not get his overgrowth just yet, though. He's maxing out the living armor currently.
Yeah, very, very interesting to totally skip overgrowth.
Huh. You got Juggernaut now moving to the middle lane, though, so Navi wants to make a push. Oh, he wants an Omni Slash. He's not going to get it, though, I don't think. Oh, he will get the vision at the last second. Living armor's up just in case as well. And he's going to run away. But the charge coming in. He charged a creep, however. And charged through him. And he'll just spin away.
That vision was so close.
Yeah. Just saw the tail end of him. So good time in there from Pycat. Middle lane, Dendi. Again, the reactive armor 20 stacks up, so he's going to be very tough to take down. What we saw earlier, they were able to burn through it. This time, he Timber champs away, and they'll forward. And he does have Treant Protector nearby, but again, Treant does not have overgrowth just yet. Glimpse back in, the kinetic field, static storm combo. This time will land, and down goes Timber, so I can't do anything about that at that point. And Spirit Breaker looking to catch more. Juggernaut caught initially with that stun, but now they want Treant Protector. And he's just simply going to try to run away. Has another living armor to use. Afterlife, meanwhile, feeling some pain. The chaotic offering coming out, and actually Darkseer will get picked off. So they lose Treant. No, Treant Protector actually stays alive. Now he's assisting for more kills. As the Fatal Bond's also spreading some nice damage. They take out Disruptor as well. Spirit Breaker going back in. Trying to maybe save DK if anything. And looks like he may end up doing that. DK's going in himself, though. And that's a very greedy move because now if he dies too, that's all for now for the Spirit Breaker. Gee, he is in trouble. Vendetta going in from General. They're going to find him right here. Impel in 3 seconds.
21 armor.
1. Yeah, you're right. He is a little too tanky. So they're going to back it off, but still a successful fight for Navi.
Yeah, the DK is just borderline unkillable. If he turns Armlet on, he goes to almost 2,000 health and like 27 armor or something stupid. Their damage just is not there to kill him yet, and it's going to be a long time before that is. It's kind of the same situation as we saw with Dendi. It took 4 to kill Dendi. It's going to take 4 to kill G.
You see Dendi, speaking of him, pushing out the bottom lane here. He does have Spirit Breaker and Darkseer nearby. But this time, Treant Protector again also here. Go back to the choice again, passing up that overgrowth. Still doesn't have it. I'm sure at level 7 he's probably going to get it. I mean, especially with what happened in the last fight. Like, it would have been nice to have throughout that, so.
Yeah, I mean, they're really posting up hard here looking for Dendi with this deep ward from the Vega side. But yeah, it's a little strange, especially when there's a Ion Shell on Dire's side just to rip through the living armor. And Dark Pact, honestly. I mean, there's multiple ways just to strip the armor off. So to commit extra points on that instead of overgrowth's, I don't want to say questionable, but it's strange.
Top lane, DK. Doesn't have his old dragon form here. He's just going to have to run the mana burn, preventing that Omni Slash even coming out. Really want this kill. He's still very tanky. The armlet toggle. He's going to use it once again. The surge comes out. What a play by G to ultimately survive right there. And I mean, I know his hero in general is pretty bulky, but man, that was some good avoiding there eventually to buy the time for the support to come in. The glimpse back. No, the spin though from Juggernaut will prevent it. And he's going to be fine here.
The Bond Screams.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, they're all bonds up, but
it would have been a luck thing. Like, the armlet toggle would have had to come when you're hitting them, but the potential was there, and you weren't going to die.
Well, they played a safe route. Didn't know for sure.
I said it was going to take 4 to kill G. That was 3 with an Omni Slash. So the guy's just insanely tanky. And the amazing toggle there for the Omni Slash. If you toggle armlet on when burst damage is coming through, you're essentially taking only the armlet drain from it. Because you're gaining the health right away, and then it's gone anyway.
Bottom lane, don't think they're going to get a kill out of this, but just going to say hello and allow G to pick up more farm. Again, that armlet first item pickup, and now he's going the shadow play. We don't get to see DK too often, but would you say this is a bit of a traditional build here?
Yeah, this is pretty standard. The deviations from this that you could see, Deso if you really need to push early, Blink if you're lacking initiation, but Shadowblade's pretty much the standard.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Well, again, has a Shadow Amulet, so almost there. As far as G in that build, he's going to be seen rotating in by the Vendetta Nyx Assassin. He pops the other Dragon form. Going to get more support here, though, so possible fight going to be breaking out. Iron Shell applied to Dragonite. No vacuum yet for Darkseer, though. That's kind of key as well. He has the wall, but doesn't have a way to kind of bring them in here.
Yeah, taking the cast range over getting the point in vacuum is very
Interesting.
Seen some odd choices. And Trant does not get his overgrowth again. He's hits level 7, so he maxes out the living armor. We are seeing some curious decisions. Kinetic Field and Static Torment will catch Nick's Assassin and kind of zoning out the rest. Chaotic offering, though, in the backlines. The Fiddle Bonds is put out. Pycat, though, can't really get close enough to the DK. Instead, he'll go for the Spear Breaker. Off to the side. Spear Breaker should be able to take down right here. And yes, he will go down to the Fiddle Bonds. Again, spreading some damage. Danny's not done just yet. Just like last game on the Storm Spirit. He wants to go in still, but actually will be glimpsed back right there, and that'll be the end of it. So easy tower kill as well.
General's hunting. He wants the Slark.
I've been dead again. Oh yeah, Haster, jeez.
Yeah, I can't imagine your risk going for that though. Slark knows if you're hunting him, because all of a sudden the Shadow Dance will go away for no reason.
Yep, there we go.
So, yep.
Either they got a ward, or yeah, you see him ping right there.
Yeah.
It's probably the Nyx.
So whenever there's not an invis hero, that ping means throw a sentry here. I'm going to be very upset with you. But against an invis, it's a lot more difficult. You never know if it's necessarily Nyx hunting you, but he can be reasonably sure. Had just pathed over that area and it didn't go away. So we're kind of seeing what happens though with the Midas pickup here on Darkseer or on Slark, because he was totally unable to join in that fight. Knew he wasn't going to do anything super productive, and just said, "I got to get Shadowblade, guys. I can't do anything yet."
That is a downside of going that first out of Midas here, but the real you, just like the DK though, just about has that Shadowblade now, so they're going to have a couple here and definitely be much more combat ready once both of those come out, let alone the one for Dragon Eye, which is just about finished. And a Blink, however, just picked up by Nick. So, yeah, speaking of his hand of Midas earlier on, he is definitely making use of his farm. Bottom lane, though. Pycat, they're charging him. 3 more are here ready to assist. The living armor's already put up, though, and he's falling back. He has plenty of support nearby. Now Treant Protector does have overgrowth. Is he in range? Yes, he is in range. He'll use it right there. That had to be max. And Spirit Breaker, though, he's like, all right, another strike and go away. Can he get away is a question, though. Impale lands on both. Not the easiest time to land, but he does a good job of it right there. Static Storm zoning them out, though. It does catch a Juggernaut. No, it catches Treant Protector, actually, with the Kinetic Field. The wall's put down as well, but they're just going to walk around it, actually. Glimpse back on a Timbersaw, but is it going to be enough to save their teammates? Impale's ready to go again for Nyx. He opens, he misses the Impale. Mentioned earlier, it's not the easiest stun to land, but it's going to be enough still to take out Disruptor. And maybe be the end, unless Stark's here. Well, he could still be in some trouble, actually. He's going to surge.
Should be out if he just goes straight left.
Radiant's middle tower.
If he tries
the greedy Ion Shell?
Yeah. Then Nick's Spite Carapace stun comes out, and now he's in trouble.
Yeah,
he's
Tree's
gonna keep
literally hunting him, porting to a different tower, keeping his invis through the port. Can't find him, though.
No.
Takes the wrong juke path.
He is buying a lot
To be
of
honest,
time.
the kill potential on him there is still pretty low. Yeah. He has another surge left after this one and a full on, but that was entertaining. I love watching people when they just have the Shadow Amulet using it, because you can use it while you're running and don't stop until your fade time is up. So if you do that and constantly just spam move, you can drop in and out of targeting every 1 point whatever seconds, which can be kind of funny. You can disjoint an Omni Slash is the big thing with it.
You see, G, he has gone straight into the Silver Edge here. At least he has that queued up. And
Interesting.
Timbersaw, is that kind of the key?
Well, okay, so the way Silver Edge works on Timber, it doesn't get rid of any reactive stacks he has, it just stops him from generating new ones. So if you go on him when he has 0, it makes him incredibly squishy. If you'd go on him right now when he's rolling 20, it doesn't do anything.
That's
so
interesting.
it's good. It does help him in the man fight against Juggalot, though, because it takes away Blade Dance.
Well, we got Pycat being opened on right here by Slark. Slark realizing this might have been a poor decision, though. Shadow Dance is popped. Very much defensive abilities used right here as part of Static Storm. He gets out of the overgrowth immediately, though, due to the Dark Pact, and he will take out Juggernaut in the end. So a nice overgrowth initially, but obviously didn't matter on the part of Slark at least. The Chaotic Offering used, but they're spread out pretty well. Warlock being run down and gets killed. And Alcima, he wants another target, but I don't think he's going to find it, actually. And the Warlock Golem just almost seems lost here as far as what he wants to do.
Poor guy.
Yeah, his owner's dead, unfortunately, so
The lost
has to
puppy
accept
wandering
death
the
as well.
streets of New York.
I'm sad now. G? Uh-oh. I don't know if they're killing him, though.
It's G, yeah. I mean, and
Risky
the
open.
question is going to be, when can they kill him?
because Timber does great damage to him, especially if he procs a Q next to a tree, gets the pure damage and the strength stat loss, but General's in trouble here. There's a gem on Slark already that was bought immediately after the Shadow Blade came out.
Ooh, but General's going to live, and that's going to be so frustrating if you're Vega Squadron here. Now Timbersaw going in. Again, has that reactive armor, though. The Bloodstone 12 charges, so he's not too worried about
Casual
dying.
Ion Shell on a creep ended up bringing Nyx down in the end.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, wow, jeez. Okay, so they do get the kill.
Yep. That was a huge charge from Sima. Stopped the Dendi mid-Timber chains.
Dire's middle
The
tower
Dendi.
is under attack.
But yeah, ended up making it so Slark was fairly easy to get out there, and then 10 seconds later is full health. So, well played from Sima here. Definitely making some big plays on the Spirit Breaker.
Yeah.
Just being this disruptive force in team fights. And I gotta say, this Timber pick has felt very, very underwhelming. For being a last pick and kind of your counter to their lineup, he just hasn't had any pop.
Yeah, it's definitely, I mean, 1, 2, and 1, that kind of reflects it right there, right? You know, it maybe we're thinking too much because of how he did last game on the Storer Spirit and how he just took over, but it's a fair point to make that, yeah, Timbersaw as a hero, though, hasn't necessarily been the biggest threat, it feels like, in these fights. So, sure, in the laning phase, he definitely did very well, but even with that, you know, he did die earlier on, which was a little bit of a surprise. So, yeah, not nearly as strong of a game this time around from Dendi and the Timbersaw, and that's definitely hurting Navi's chances here. As Juggernaut, again, Pycat, he is, once again, just like last game, doing pretty well. He's got the Manta style, and he's up there on net worth, but he's going up against the DK and the Slark, who are both doing that much better. And Slark also finished his own Silver Edge here already.
Yeah, that came out quick. I'm loving what Pycat has in Quick Bike here. Maelstrom on Jug has been long forgotten, and it's still the best damage item you can get in the game, and as far as the amount you spend on it. And it's going to be absolutely crucial in trying to eventually bring this DK down.
Radiant's middle tower is
It's
under
going to compound so well with everything they do. Eventually, when the Maelstrom comes out, Ion Shell is going to be proccing it, Thunderstrike, Dark Pack. There's so many ways that it's going to just do a ton of damage.
Yeah.
If they get there. I mean, at this point, Vega might not let them. Vega's being very, very oppressive in their approach.
They are. 3 heroes down here at the bottom lane trying to get this tower. There goes the other dragon form. It's level 2 currently, so
Radiant
a little bit more
structures are
enhanced here.
fortified.
And he's going to be ported on, actually, so I have to be
does he
careful
get
about
it?
this. Somebody got glimpsed back.
Look at Dendi!
Yeah, he flies in right here, but looking to make a play.
Radiant's top
Trying to
tower
run them
is
down,
under
actually. Tree Protector doesn't have died in the midst of it. Disruptor, though, he is going to be chased down. And the spin comes out from Pyka, but now here's the real you. Slark coming to the party. Spirit Breaker also joins. And they're going to take out Dendi on that Timbersaw. General, he's going to blink dagger away.
I don't even care. Dendi hit the Glimp chains. That's just too
Radiant's
fun.
top tower is under
So that's what so it was the glimpse back and he chained in, yeah.
Yeah,
Register.
so everyone knows the fountain hooking thing, right? You know, your Pudge, you get sent back by your Chen, you hook someone at the right time, and they come all the way back to fountain with you.
Yeah.
That has now been fixed. That interaction is not yet, though. Ooh, Darkseer.
We're
in
not
trouble.
done just yet. Yeah, Darkseer, he is going to be bashed through and pops the mech even. He really wants to live. We saw him earlier. He made his escape. Oh, my God.
Nice
Surge
out.
coming back up in a second. Yeah, he should be good.
2 seconds till blink. It's got to be a blink impale.
Can they land it, though? The vacuum goes off right there, clearing the trees, giving him his path, if anything, but
Nice.
it's not going to matter.
That's a really hard impale to hit from General. I mean, I gotta say, General actually waited an extra second on the blink till he had Carapace up in hopes that Darkseer had Ion Shelled himself just to get a blink Carapace and actually get an easier stun. But that's a big pickup in slowing momentum here. Navi needed something. They've been struggling to find anything good in these team fights. Last one was a token disruptor kill, and in return you lost Dendi +1.
Dire's structures are fortified.
Oh, bottom lane. They're going to push the tier 1 tower in, but doesn't seem like Vega Squadron wants to give this up necessarily,
Radiant's
but
middle tower is under attack.
they're not going to be able to defend in time. They are nearby. Going to prevent a secondary tower from going down at least.
Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
And we'll see if Navi wants to continue to go with this. They're going to find Disruptor off to the side. General scouts him out.
Yeah, it lays the sentry down as well. Navi really either needs to get a gem of their own or they need to get this one off Slark.
Radiant's middle
Like,
tower
it's worth
is under
ultimates at
attack.
this point. It's worth committing everything. You desperately need vision control back so that your Nyx has some room to move and you can get some of these deep wards off the map. Look at Vega's warding right now. It's the entire Radiant jungle.
Yeah. It's a lot of aggressive vision down here, as he's pointing out, the middle lane even. He's got a ward thrown in there, so on this bottom side of the map, it's being controlled pretty heavily by Vega Squadron. You look at Navi's vision, nothing really past the river here for them at this point. So yeah, the split push continues to be very solid by Vega Squadron as well. They Slark's the top lane, he got DK bottom, both with the silver edge, so they have great mobility right here, and they're taking advantage.
And if you're Navi now, the question is, how do you find an opening? How do you find something? And it's all of their catch really is in ultimates. It's in Overgrowth and Chaotic Offering, and to commit those on 1 or 2 heroes is really hard. So finding Silent here would be huge, but it might just get turned around on them. General's being charged, Static Storm.
Oh. Next, he popped that spiked carapace and he actually force-staffed out of the kinetic field Static
MVP
Storm.
force damage.
But the fact that he wasn't intimidated by the TPs coming in, he just still kind of stood there, and then eventually he's like, all right, I'll Silver Edge away and reset, and obviously we saw the end result right there. So, again, very good play across the board by G on the Dragon Knight, and, this pick is definitely proving to be a very good one this game, despite not the most popular.
I think it's extremely strong in the meta. It's just the laning phase for ADK is so boring. You know nothing's really going to happen.
Hastrun, bottled up by Dragon Knight. He's looking for a kill chance. He wouldn't have his ulti for him, but
Navi needs to find something that doesn't require Pycat to be there. That's really hard to ask of them right now, but he needs time. He needs to get to this Mjolnir.
Wow, that's an easy kill
Ooh,
right there. Chaotic Offering in response, so they better at least get the Spear Breaker. They like to get DK, but I don't think that's happening. Kinetic Field gonna help keep them away, although Timbersaw wants to go in. You gotta be a little bit careful, got too deep here. I believe he got glimpsed back though, so I almost want to say, they could have turned that actually, so glimpsing it back almost kind of saves Timbersaw, but
maybe it would have been a hard kill. But Omnislash was down, Chaotic Offering was down. Yeah, at the very least, I don't think... best case scenario for Navi, no one dies there.
Yeah.
If Timber doesn't get glimpsed. But if you're Silent, you just want to protect your team. It's fine, you lost one, traded him for the tree. Call it good and move on. Tree opted for a Midas, like very, very, very late Midas, so... I don't know what he's going to do with it. He doesn't have the blink, and we saw how influential that was in the first game.
And now you got this Slark, man. That BKP, it's just, this guy is just getting so much farm. 16,000 net worth. Juggernaut's putting in middle lane, but again, the Elder Dragon form, he's just going to stand his ground. Static Storm comes out as well, pops the Silver Edge. Nice overgrowth right here. Spirit Breaker charging in though. Dragon Knight is getting fairly low, but now Slark joins the party, and that's where it gets extra scary for Navi. The vacuum wall combination in the back lines. Not a lot of follow-up after though. Kinetic Field can't really catch anyone, and instead Slark will pounce away. Mana burn on him, so he is currently out of mana now. And the rest are going to run, so good response from Navi right there. But no kills coming out of it in the end.
Nobody died. I feel like it's going to be the story of many of the skirmishes from here on out. There's just a lot of defensive tools on both teams, and it's going to be hard to find the damage for many things unless like Warlock gets caught out.
Well, how about DK as far as scaling goes? He's going to have a BKB next, but is this a hero that you're going to be worried about on Navi's side as far as, taking off later in the game?
I mean, probably slightly more than Timbersaw. Like, you always got to compare it to the matchup they're in. And while his damage doesn't seem as strong in the later game, he ends up just being borderline unkillable, so he'll just BKB, right-click your towers, and they'll fall down. He's a great sieger, which is what they really need, because Slark is not very good at hitting buildings.
Timbersaw. He's going to be found here, but don't think they're going to really be able to command without their cores. Although Sime wants to keep them nearby because said cores are coming. Slark, in fact, going to be the first one here. Seneko trying to run. Overgrowth, he's thinking about it. He's like, do I use it? Nah. Be a waste at that point. So
yeah, and Slark with a brand new BKB, too. He's in good shape to fight. Good job holding the Overgrowth there, but this is looking a little rough for Navi. Pycat is still farming up well. Full Mjolnir done. That's a lot of damage if he can stick to somebody.
Dragon Knight just running in. I mean, he was seen initially by the sentry, but he takes a mana burn and he still kind of goes up a little again. He just feels so comfortable right now. He has that ulti form. He has the BKB. Impel is going to go through, but just to harass, and they're just going to keep this going.
Dire's middle
Why
tower
not?
is under
Got
attack.
level 3 Elder Dragon form now, as we see right there, with the Frost Breath.
There they go.
They're going to jump Disruptor. That's a good big kill off the bat. Actually, no, he gets the Static Storm off, though, with the Vacuum Wall combo on top of it. In comes the counter offering response, but Timbersaw's dropping pretty quickly. Mjolnir on him, trying to help out. It is going to be enough to actually get away with the Timber Chain, but down goes Treant Protector. And Navi, again, in full retreat mode. Biver going to be run down as well. Double kill for G. Both teams landing some decent ultimates there. It's just, again, Vega Squadron, just that much better farm, and this Dragon Knight especially, just so bulky in these fights.
Yeah, I mean, getting the static off was definitely important there. Most of the core abilities had gotten off by Navi already, but it just put a ton of pressure on Dendi, making him back out right away. And without Dendi kind of having free reign to throw spells in, they definitely don't have the damage on Navi to take any fight right now.
Gonna pop a Shrine. No Roshan being done just yet, but something tells me that's going to be on the menu here soon, at least for Vega Squadron. And it seems like that's going to be the option right now.
Seems good.
Why not? AC's queued up for DK. Obviously going to be a great item to have. Lincoln's picked up on Slark. This was reminiscent. We saw, what was it, a Shadow Fiend yesterday, I want to say, in the Alliance series. Yeah, Alliance Limp played it, where he went just all out defensive items. It proved to be the great choice, but it's just, we kind of see that similar here on Slark. You know, the Lincolns, the BKB, Silver Edge, sure, more offensive in a sense, but
Well, he knows the sustained damage isn't there for Navi right now.
yeah.
And he's getting forced out of fights still, and he's tanky.
Pycat is getting locked down left and right. Overgrowth finally comes out, but this BKB of Slark he's still running after. Don't get any kills just yet, but they're going to get one on Treant and probably another on Nyx. There we go. I mean, so they saved the main target in Pycat, but two supports essentially going down, and they were doing Rosha, but they're like, hey, we're at a tower. Let's go ahead and push that instead. Almost getting distracted of sorts.
Yeah.
They'll take it.
Like, Pycat needs, like, Butterfly, Scotty to even be relevant at this point. Going Diffusal just so he can stick to people. It's the budget version of Scotty at this stage in the game for him. He's just really struggling to be productive in these fights.
And there's
And
the Roshan.
I gotta appreciate, I love the way that Vega is tempoing this game out. They got the lead on DK, and they're really pushing it. It's let Slark build super defensively, get a greedy Midas, and yeah, super impressed so far with how well Vega's taking this game overall.
Again, trying to force that third in what would be a final game, of course, at this
We want
rate.
it. We want Game 3.
Absolutely, especially with this being our only series here today, at least.
Yeah, well, we can maybe talk to him and make it a best of 5 game.
Yeah, let's just
Change it up.
let's go the distance, man. Best of 7. That doesn't happen often. Silent. He's going to be spun on and will survive. Nope, General. Glimmer Cape, though, keeping him alive for the time being. Charge coming in. You got to be careful about staying too long here for Navi. Okay, they do get the kill on Disruptor. And that
Yeah,
will...
Sneko got picked in mid at the same time, though.
Okay.
I'll take that.
So it ends up being a 1-for-1 there. But now they're wrapping around. Slark, Darkseer coming in. Somewhat of a flank position. They scan them out. Oh, boy. He's going to spin out his Pycat. So Pycat will survive. Can Nyx get away now? He just uses Blink. He's going to be found here. And he's probably dead. Yeah. A lot of upfront damage there. Nothing that he could do to survive. So good find there by Vega Squadron once again. And they keep this lead going in their favor. 20,000 net worth now for Slark. Just over
Yeah,
18,000.
should be a basher up on him very shortly. May end up holding on to buyback until the Aegis is gone. Just not really a reason to spend it, but...
I also like how the real you decided to put the Hannah Midas in his inventory rather than the BKB, but you know, he figures he's not going to use the BKB until after the Aegis anyways.
Yeah, I've noticed him kind of going back and forth on that. The Midas was in the backpack for a while, but yeah, he feels comfortable.
A gift from the
Get that attack speed passive, and also, you know, if it's in your backpack, obviously the timer, the cooldown is much, much longer, so perhaps that has something to do with it as well. Wants to keep the efficiency of the Midas up.
I kind of wish Dendi went a more aggressive build. Like, went hyper defensive, Bloodstone, Hood, duels into plate mail, and I feel like something like Bloodstone, Blink, Ags maybe would have given them the damage they needed. Because right now it doesn't matter how much damage you tank on Navi's side, you've got to do enough, or you're never getting through this lineup.
Yeah.
Radiant's middle
And they're not
tower
even going to
has
remotely try to fight right there. Obviously, they feel pretty scared, especially with the Aegis on a Slark. Definitely not looking to pick any fights.
By the way, DK's level 25 talents are one of the funnier ones. He can either double his armor and regen on Dragon Blood, so 24 HP a second, 24 armor, or he can just fly like a race car.
Wow, yes.
That's 75 move speed.
It's insane. Oh, they catch Slark, or this is going to be enough, though. Root comes out with the Shadow Dance to use, and the Chakram does plenty, but not enough, and Slark, he'll be fine. He does have the BKB back in his inventory now. So yeah, he's kind of swapping around a little bit.
So Navi right now is just hoping to get to the Nyx Ags, and then you just Burrow Strike Nyx now that you're pretty much down to defending your base. You have one tier 2 left that's going to fall here eventually, and then you just Burrow Strike Nyx behind your own tower and mana burn out like crazy. If you can keep the Dire Squad out of mana, it ends up being basically just DK clicking buildings. So it eliminates a lot of the threat. So that's what they're trying to get to, is just the siege potential, where they can just stall endlessly with the Nyx Ags.
Secondary tower top lane, easy tower kill up here.
What?
That'll be all.
Wow, Pycat opted for a BKB.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
He's already struggling to find relevance with his items and do damage. Ended up going more defensive.
Yeah, as far as just damage output as a team here on this Radiant side, it does feel lacking overall, and that's, ideally it kind of will help because, again, the mobility that he'll have as a result of having the BKB up, but as you're pointing out, I don't know if it's necessarily the actual answer of what they truly needed here. He still has that Diffusal Knot queued up also to follow. That'll be a damage enhancement for sure, but hell, you have Slarky. He's working on a Moon Shard at this point.
Yeah,
Stage
he's
is
just
at.
huge. The world is his oyster right now. Completely skipping the Basher even. That's how comfortable he feels.
Yeah, I'm looking at all the talents of DK again, one we don't see in general. The 10 strength, 40 damage, and 300 life. So he's 23, almost 24 here. So we'll keep an eye on when he gets 25. What he goes for. Slark, his 25, and he chose to get the 12 total stats.
Timbers kind of matters. 6% Whirling Death attribute reduction is really huge in this game. It brings the Whirling Death up to 21% primary attribute loss. And for these big, bulky strength heroes like the DK and Spirit Breaker can really matter.
Seema, he's found up here. He's going to charge on through. Trying to make his escape, actually. And unless they commit a Chaotic Offering, yeah, not doing that. So he's just going to fly on by, and he'll survive. And the game of avoiding one another will continue, really. So Aegis, again, has been reclaimed by now. So Slark, though, he has the Moon Shard actually in his inventory currently. Now he's going to go for that Basher next in line. They catch Nyx Assassin at the bottom lane, meanwhile, and he's going to die pretty quickly. And he's staying dead for 50 seconds. TP, that's going to be canceled as Slark turned his attention to it.
Radiant's bottom
That wasn't
tower is
Juggernaut,
under
was it?
attack.
No, he still has his.
Radiant's
And they're going to push this tier 3 aggressively now. ET comes out.
Dyer's top tower
No
is under
overgrowth,
attack.
no Nyx stun. This is rough.
Oh,
Enemy
Timbersaw
is so dead.
is caught too. Can't even deny himself, unfortunately. He does have a buyback, though. Used it immediately. Chaotic Offering coming out. Omni Slash bouncing around. Pycat trying to do the damage needed with that BKP up, but again, it just doesn't matter. Still, the lockdown comes through from Seema the Slayer, and down goes Juggernaut. He has a buyback. Choosing not to use it yet. He finally will now, is realizing, yeah, I can't give up 2 sets of racks right here for free.
Middle tower is under attack.
The first one going down, though, but this Elder Dragon form has still got a bit left on it.
Radiant's middle tower has
And they'll
fallen.
take the tier 3 middle and fall back from there. They got the buybacks they were looking for. Oh, he's going to go back in, actually. He's going right back into the Juggernaut, and Juggernaut immediately has to spin away.
Why not? He has plus 72 agility right now in Slark. He's hitting like a truck.
Oh, the 24th shift. Yeah, that is adding up. That's true. If you're Vega
General's
Squadron,
dead.
yeah, they want to go back in for sure now with the Nyx pickoff right there. The vacuum coming out, pulling back in several. Treant is going to feel the worst end of that as he goes down, but I feel like that's the game too. We're going to game 3 more than likely, unless Navi some way, somehow can get a miracle hold right here of sorts.
I feel like the real use hit so many people in this fight, and he's at 36 chip stacks. I'm just wondering how that guy in the Kiev game got to 83.
Somebody got 83? Holy crap.
Yeah, It was a troll and a Slark just beating on each other in a Roche pit for like 40 seconds, and no one else touching them.
He's up to
Slark
52.
ended up barely Slark ended up barely creeping out the win, and then just basically throwing them off of it because he was doing so much damage.
Well, that is official. Vega Squadron will take game number 2, and we are going to a third and final game. As spectators, obviously, we can appreciate that, so looking forward to a fun finish right here. But I'm with you. As far as, like, you kind of compare the games, as far as a more impressive victory, I think Vega Squadron had the more impressive victory so far going into game number 3.
Yeah, I mean, they outdrafted. This draft was a crushing outdraft.
Yeah.
And we really got to see it. And honestly, Warlock's 0-2 in this series. And I mean, I was mentioned a couple days ago, I don't think Warlock is in the powerhouse spot everyone else is putting him in. Is he a viable pick? Yes. Does he fit in a certain team comp? Sure. But all these teams that are picking him up early on, it just seems like teams are learning to play against it better and really nullifying the effectiveness.
Yeah. Well, in the end, Navi coming up short, but they're going to have a chance to readjust again and go into a game number 3 here. So, going to be a fun finish indeed, but guys, stay tuned. Breaky CPK, joined by Z-Rock here. We got game number 3 of the Summit 7 European qualifying action. Again, elimination match here to come down to the final game. Winner goes on to the playoff stage to face Empire. Loser will be done here in these qualifiers. Stay tuned, guys. Game number 3 coming up next. Pretty a little bit different of a
5
start,
seconds
actually.
remaining.
Excited for that one here, Z-Rock.
Yeah, I really am.
Reserve time.
Sticking with the TB ban, but they do shift it up. When you lose a game, usually one hero from the last one tends to fall in the first phase bans. It will be Darkseer falling on the axe this time.
Team pick.
And Vega going back to the Warlock. Can they change the O2 curse?
That's the plan here. You know, it's as you mentioned, he's 0-2 in the series. I don't know if that's necessarily been the cause
10
of the losses
seconds
by any
remaining.
means, but Vega Squadron is gonna make him
5
priority
seconds
this time
remaining.
around, though. And I know you're kind of talking about the end there, and perhaps he is a little overhyped amongst teams.
Reserve time.
I do agree. However, at the same time, he still is a strong support. So I'm not too surprised to see Vega Squadron going with him as heavy priority here with that first pick. And, just about getting that also synergy, the follow-up to the Chaotic Offering, I think, is a key as well. If you kind of just get more single-target focus, I mean, that could work out. But, really seeing that wombo combo come out is a thing of beauty. So
Yeah. And while Navi had the idea of it last game, the goal was to get the Chaotic Offering into an Overgrowth, and then Dendy just goes ham with a bunch of spells and throws a ton of damage into it. But Dendy kind of fell behind in the early game, went a very defensive itemization, and struggled to get damage off on multiple heroes and get that burst out there. Now, I do want to point out Abaddon has been totally absent from this series. I still think it's a premium offlaner, and
10
has been,
seconds
for the most part,
remaining.
ignored. So with Navi picking up something with a bunch of CC already between the
5
Tree Dance,
seconds
Primal
remaining.
Spring, Boundless Strike, I'm wondering if we won't see that come out of Navi. It's super strong. You've got some CC and one support already, so you don't necessarily need it from the offlane role. I would personally like to see it come out just for a bit of change of pace.
yeah. Well, we'll see if that's something of interest. But, the fact that the hero wasn't even referred to in both of the first two games is distressing. It's like, I don't know if he's going to be seen here right now. Maybe
Yeah.
just either team is the most comfortable with him. But he is a very popular one across the board, so that would be a little bit surprising to see just completely left out. But, yeah,
Radiant
Navi
team ban.
is going to be what you expect
Well,
to
there
be
you
the
go.
offlane choice for them. So keep up some
Yeah, I mean,
aggressiveness.
it more than likely will be. Batrider, okay, so teams are kind of figuring out how to
10
use Bat
seconds
again.
remaining.
They're figuring out that you need a lot of damage on the back end of the lasso. He's not going to
5
win his lane
seconds
like he did in
remaining.
the Batrider Hell era where he was winning tri-lanes by himself. But he is still an effective
Radiant
offlaner.
team ban.
Especially provided that you can get the lasso on the Warlock pre-offering or on the mid laner, something important. You just got to make it so that you have enough damage to kill whoever you lasso. So I'm expecting something fairly high damage coming out of Navi. And what that's going to be,
10 seconds
it could be a number of things. I'm still kind of baffled. I would say Dendy Shadow Fiend is a strong potential here. Pairs well with the Monkey King in just setting up zone control so that he's a little bit protected and can maybe get off a good Requiem. A lot of bursts to just try to shotgun down a lasso target, especially in the early game with the Shadow Races being super strong. So definitely look towards that. We usually see it go away in the second phase if something kind of says, hey, they may
Radiant
Shadow Fiend
team
here.
pick.
The downside to that is it'd be extremely vulnerable to Tusk. Vega, we saw Tusk use super effectively at the start of the first game, but then kind of just got outpaced. Vega picking up the LC, though, this was Navi's ban the first two games. This is the one they swapped Darkseer out for. So we'll have to see. They kind of got premium picks in the Warlock and the LC here. And now the question is, can they form a coherent team around it?
Yeah, the Tusk pick, I'm kind of going back to that real quick. He's been fun to watch with it. He is a good Tusk player, but they're 0-3 with this hero lately. They went 0-2 with it against Alliance. They ran it both in the first and the third game, which were losses, and then they ran it here in game one of this series against Navi. So, there gets to a point where I do think you have to kind of respect a stat like that, and I don't think it's just coincidence that he's 0-3 in these last three games with them.
What about the Warlock not winning a game stat?
I mean, that's
Do we
just
respect that.
See, this is one team running it over a 2-day span. I mean, the Warlock just in back-to-back games happening to be.
And to be fair, Vega 2-0'd with the Warlock in the first series. So
Yeah.
they did win with it.
just feels like a caster curse thing for me. I think I've seen one Warlock win out of any game I've casted, and I've casted probably 40, 50 since Gale.
One
But
Warlock.
the Phoenix
win.
pickup, that is a Phoenix pickup. Without a tree,
5
without
seconds remaining.
really any coverage for the egg to actually keep it safe. You've got Boundless Strike, sure.
Reserve
You're not going to
time.
lasso someone to make sure an egg goes off. So this is the other idea. The last time we saw Phoenix picked in one of our games, I remember mentioning this. The idea is you just dive in, you supernova, and you understand you're going to die. You understand you're not going to get the egg off. But you want to put them in a position where if they kill the egg, then they're sitting on top of Wukong's command, they're sitting on top of Firefly, they're taking so much damage they can't win the fight. And that's going to be the question is, can Navi draft enough zone damage and enough burst that if Phoenix dives in and eggs, can they kill people off the back of it?
Yeah.
And Weaver is a very good pickup in both a Phoenix answer, because it can kill the egg very quickly with Geminate, as well as the time-lapse being a nice recovery tool just to say, oh, I got caught, let's fix this. The actual hard CC out of Navi right now is not the longest durations. Boundless Strike only 1.6 seconds. Sure, you have Lasso, but Weaver's going to be going Lincoln's first or second item, and makes it very, very difficult to get a Lasso off on a Weaver before he time-lapses or even just Shikuchis and runs away.
That's going to be the plan here. So Navi kind of focusing more on that side of things. Again, having that lock that we stressed in that first game as we saw. And, well, there we go, actually. Storm Spirit was had free reign in that first game in the hands of Dendi because of the lack of lockdown on the other side. This time, it's already a little different. I mean, LC brings another presence, of course. But you could argue, again, once he gets that Lincolns, he's actually going to be pretty mobile
10
here
seconds remaining.
in this game. So it's going to be interesting to see again what Vega's now final
5
pick is.
seconds remaining.
Going in that they need a middle option here, you figure now. With that to go up against the Storm
Reserve
Spirit.
time.
So will they get versus to lock down?
I would say Lena's a very strong option. We know they play it. We know it's a very good matchup into Storm pre-6 especially, like insanely good matchup pre-6. The only issue is we saw Dendi just pop off in game 1 on Storm. And all of your lockdown, once Storm hits 11, is too slow. Dendi can actually ult away from any of the skills that are currently on Vega once he has level 2 Ball Lightning. So we'll have to see. Even Blink Duel is actually not that fast. If Dendi has quick enough reaction time, then we'll be in okay shape.
Yeah.
Now, I will say this is one of those situations where if this was a LAN
10
environment,
seconds
I'd be
remaining.
saying Storm is more likely to do exceptionally well. But they are
5
playing
seconds
from
remaining.
their respective countries on the Luxembourg servers. They're not a zero ping. And that does pose a bit of an issue if you're trying to
Navi's
react on somebody
turn
like
to
Storm.
pick.
It's kind of an interesting idea right there on that topic real quick. It's the idea that online you could argue you're going to play maybe your strategy could change a little bit because of said heroes as you're going out
10
with the Storm
seconds
Spirit, where
remaining.
that reaction time is that much more important.
5
Puck,
seconds
Slardar, and
remaining.
Rubik. Probably the 3 biggest heroes that on LAN go up like an entire tier list.
Yeah.
Because when you're playing on zero ping, Puck is just disgusting. He can dodge so much with phase shift, combo into things a lot better, buffer blinks out of phase, and just a whole bunch of crazy stuff. Rubik for an instant spell steal is just insane. So
Radiant team.
yeah, the ping actually is something to think about during drafts, and there's a reason certain picks are picked more often at LAN.
Lycan, the final pick here
Lycan.
for Navi. We're going to see Lycan again. I'm liking the Lycan.
I'm coming around to it.
10
It
seconds
depends on what he
remaining.
does here. So I'm more of a fan of the skip wolves entirely Lycan that we've seen some teams start doing.
Mhm.
Yeah, they can be a great scouting tool. They can give you a lot of info. You already have Monkey King for that.
Reserve time.
I would like to see him just go the brawly, Max Howl, Feral Impulse to survive the lane. Like, just come out with the ultimate right at 7 or 8 and just try to tear through everything.
Yeah, it's been fun to see that build again. The idea of the Howl too, as far as the synergy for the team, is so powerful. And this goes back to what I do bring up with the Lycan whenever we happen to see him is where it's not that again. Howl in general on any hero is going to be very useful. It's going to be powerful for the laning phase. It's just going to be a good ability. But do they have a hero that really can benefit from it with the right clicks? I mean, Storm Spirit definitely does a fair amount of right clicking, so there is that. But outside of him, I guess Monkey King you could argue is going to benefit it from as well. But they're
There's
off
the Lina.
laners, not necessarily. There's the Lina, as you did point out. Sure enough, coming out here. So
Yeah. Bring this guy to a panel. He's best draft analyst 2017. This is a pretty obvious pick. It is so strong into this Navi lineup. It tears through Phoenix Egg with Fiery Soul. It should body Storm Spirit without a ton of help. And if you look at the help, right, it's going to pretty much be on Monkey King trying to just beat Lena with his bat. And I don't know if that's going to stand up to Tusk. Like, Seema put a ton of pressure on the early game. Actually did very, very well in game 1 on the Tusk in the first 5-10 minutes.
10 seconds remaining.
Well, this is going to be it, guys. Game number 3. Again, elimination game for both of these teams here. Backs against the wall. Who will move on to face another CIS team in Empire in the playoff stage, and who will be done here? Well, we're going to find out here. Coming up next year as the game loads in. Again, the playoff stage, by the way, too, it's kind of a reset of sorts in the sense that it's another double elimination phase, actually. So it's kind of, nice to get to that point and then kind of have a breather of sorts, but only one of those 4 teams then advancing on to the main event, of course. That $100,000 Sum of 7 land coming here. So,
yeah, and just to kind of give a little background on the way Summit is as a tournament, right? This tournament isn't the biggest prize pool, guys. It's not, but it pulls consistent T1 teams every single time they run it because teams love it.
Yeah.
It's a nice way to go chill. You get to go see people. It's a very fun, relaxed atmosphere. And they try to carry that atmosphere through everything they do. There's a reason we're rescheduling our games here, that we're moving our schedule around. They want to make this a relaxing break from the competitive scene for the players while still giving you guys a great tournament. And I'm not endorsed by BTS to say this. I've just watched every summit. I love the environment, the way they're throwing random players on the panel.
Yeah,
it's a lot of fun. It's definitely one of my favorite tournaments of the year.
So there's that selling point for the players to be interested in as well, but it's still $100,000. Like, that's still actually a fair amount of money. So there's that's just kind of the nice cherry on top. But I do agree with you. It kind of has that unique feel. Similar to a Dream League. I feel Dream League's also kind of that more laid-back environment, more of a fun. But, yeah, even more so at the Summit. It truly is just a casual, anyone that's watched it before knows it's in the house of theirs, and they're just literally lounging on the couch as the casters, and you're just hanging out all the teams at the house there. So it's a fun event.
Yeah.
You got the invited teams, Virtus Pro, VGJ, actually, and Secret was recently announced here. And then Clutch Gamers out of Southeast Asia actually qualifying, the first qualifying team so far. That's a team, by the way, that's on a tear lately. They're things out of Southeast Asia over there.
I'm going to be honest. I've never seen any of those players, really. Gabby, I've heard the name a few times. I've seen him when he was on Execration was the big one. But for the most part, like, relatively unknown roster.
Yeah.
For the people that follow the SEA scene, you're probably going to flame me.
30
but
seconds to battle.
as far as what I've seen, they've just been a bunch of guys that grouped up and on a tear. Because that was not an easy qualifier by any means.
No, I've been stressing lately that I think Southeast Asia is raising up quickly as far as becoming a very, very good contention of teams and a difficult region at that. But anyways, we see General right here. He's got this ability called Firefly. He's like, I don't care.
I like this ability called Mischief from Monkey King. He's running around as a baby Pudge Courier.
Where is he? He is right here. He is a baby Pudge.
What the? Holy bravery!
It almost felt like troll-like of sorts. He's kind of just running in.
Yeah, well, there's actually a goal to it, right? If he can run over to that creep wave and pull G's attention, he can make G miss the block. And that actually matters a lot in this matchup, in getting Dendy. Yeah, because look at Dendy's block here. It was so good. And now he has hill advantage. So this gets some of the early pain away from Dendy, getting him closer to bottle relatively safely. G doesn't want to let him, though. Oh, missing a creep because of uphill miss. What a shame.
Oh, boy. Well, G versus
I'm not getting into that tangent.
Dendy, we've had that conversation before. Oh, look at this top lane, Monkey King. More so. Pudge Courier. Got to be scared.
He has Jingu Mastery stacked there now, so he's doing a lot of damage.
Oh, yeah, he chose to get that first. We see Monkey Kings have been interesting to kind of see the different style of builds as he's more and more evolved here on the scene.
I take what I please.
And he does choose to get that passive first, as you pointed out. Allows for a great laning presence as far as harassment goes.
Yeah, and that explains why you went a poor man's first on too, just so he can take those hits and try to make the trades. The big nerf to it, though, is that the lifesteal got nerfed so hard on it. So you can't really just get to 4 and assume you're going to be full health coming up the other end at level 1. And He's not in trouble here, but he's going to take a lot of pressure.
Seneko, he's dropping a half-life. Meanwhile, Legion Commander switches targets, going after the Phoenix, and also farming the jungle creeps in the meantime. Orb of Venom on LC
Now
is doing a
he's in
lot of
some
work.
trouble.
He is in a lot of trouble indeed. Seneko just has to keep on running, maybe get some kind of support, but again, they don't really have crowd control up at this top lane. Between Phoenix, Monkey, and Lycan, it's just all, you know, we can hit hard, but not really CC you at all. They have to fall back. Monkey King does, and LC just feels confident as far as even jungling over here, and he gets the bounty rune. I mean, this 2 versus 3 is actually favoring Vega Squadron quite a bit, it seems like.
Yeah, I mean, good start to the laning phase. This dual lane Warlock LC is just so oppressive. It does a lot. So, definitely curious to see how it scales, though. That tends to always be the issue.
We have Lycan holding his ground, but LC, again, not afraid to run at him. Moment of courage, procs. Coming out there as well, and knows that Phoenix can't do too much. He's usually hoping, going back to that idea. Tusk, by the way, he had to port out. He was pretty deep right there. Got found by a couple of heroes in the supporting cast and Bat Rider, but he ported out in time, so we remain without a first blood here as a result, but okay, never mind. Now we have a first blood top lane as Phoenix goes down. Is that Fatal
The
Bonds?
zero armor Phoenix. I mean, it's just zero armor and Uven boots on Legion. Bonds ended up closing it,
Yeah.
I believe, but after the dive. But yeah, he just takes so much damage.
Ooh, middle lane, meanwhile, Tusk goes down.
That's
Dendy right
huge.
there.
That is insanely big because now Dendy is actually in an okay spot. He's actually ahead of this Lina in CS just because of the waves sitting on his high ground like this the whole time. But this was going to get really rough here for him in a level or two. Now he's pretty comfortable.
Middle lane.
Needs this bottle though.
Monkey King setting up. Primal Spring in. There's a balanced strike. Can he stay close enough? He absolutely can. In fact, Dendy gets credit for the kill right there, staying just in range and secures it. Obviously, the Ice Shard's not enough to save nor set up the turn kill. As Monkey King gets up to the trees and is going to sit around for the 4-minute bounty rune. No. Warlock will see him and
Snowball in on Dendy.
Dire's bottom
going
tower
for it.
is
but
under attack.
Seema, does he have enough
got
himself?
shards.
Maybe a Phoenix Slave, yep, or Dragon Slave even going to come through and will be enough, actually.
Burns,
Yeah, good job
doesn't it?
holding the shards there though. He wanted to just get the Uv slow a little bit and wait until Lina got closer, making sure that the LSA was going to connect. Nicely done. I will say Dendy is still one of the few pros to bottle crow. Like, no one does this anymore.
Why do you think that is?
Well, no one does it because it takes a courier for like a whole minute. The courier, when there's an empty bottle on it, gets slowed to almost no move speed. So it just takes forever. Team needs items. But for him, it's just, I mean, A, it's habit, I think. And B, the team does kind of revolve around him to a certain extent.
Yeah.
And so they're fine giving up the courier use for him to try to give him a little better laning phase.
Well, LC continues to be pretty aggressive down here at the bottom lane. Obviously, you know, had the assistance of that kill at least up here in 24-3 now CS. But Lycan continues to farm very well as well. 28, I mean 9-7 now is going that more of what we've seen build lately, the Howl and the Feral Impulse, passing up the Wolves as mentioned. Going to pressure him as well at the top lane, but meanwhile down here, Silent is picked off on the Warlock as Monkey King and Storm Spirit come together. Storm Spirit level 6. Snowball's going to miss right there. Will he down the tree, but he got off of it just in time, so he won't take the stun, but he is still going to be comboed down, and Lina getting credit for the kill there. So
I was wondering how that interaction was going to work if you snowballed a Monkey King while he was going up to a tree. So Snowball stops in front of the target. It doesn't go through the target, so it doesn't actually knock him off the tree. It'll just break right in front of it, which is kind of unfortunate. I was wondering if that was going to work. But good to know going forward.
okay, well, LC taking some good pressure again by the press the attack, keeping him up. And he's even going to Shadow Word heal just in case. But double damage bottom lane. See, it's being pinged out. Lina heading over. She does have her bottle.
And she's gonna not quite get it here. General's too fast.
Yeah, Batrider gets there in time. In fact, Seema's going to get caught out now as well. Flame break pushback even. The snowball into them, though, and Weaver is coming over with that Swarm applied, so they do get the kill on a Tusk, but now General has to Firefly over the ledge.
Yeah, the TP out there from Sneko is entirely just respecting the Laguna, realizing Lena's 6, that the burst damage is there. Good choice just to get out. If Lena was safe 5 there, I think Navi just sits and fights that out.
So chose to be safe with it. Biver, meanwhile, on that Phoenix. Got a little scared there as he saw LC and Warlock running at him, but he's hugging the tower, so they're not going to commit that far. No duel just yet on LC. We're able to lock him down here.
So Weaver top of the last hit chart, that is fairly expected. I would just want to say Lycan's keeping up incredibly well for the pressure that LC put on early. Only 4 CS down. They are going to make a dive in on him. Shapeshift committed, but Biver in trouble.
Yeah, Biver goes down pretty quickly right there, underestimating even the damage return. However, they will still be able to chase down the LC, so basically almost plays kind of a bait of sorts in the long run. Still a favorable trade, but
It's a bait, it's Navi favored. He still gave up a kill to an offlaner in a 1v3.
Yeah.
That just never feels good.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
second time they've been able to get that kill onto the Phoenix again. So it's plenty
I'm
of
just
time.
wondering at what point this Phoenix is going to do anything. They're not giving him a ton of pull experience. They're not giving him a ton of levels.
Dire's bottom
And
tower is under attack.
it's going to be a long time before Egg comes online. Like, we're probably looking 12, 13 minutes.
Well, 8 minutes into the game right now, so another rune's going to be spawning. So he manages to get this one. Monkey King versus Warlock now middle lane. That's a different matchup there. They find themselves leeching some experience while the actual mid-heroes are elsewhere. Storm Spirit currently jungling, and Lena, he's smoked up heading towards the top lane again. Has that Laguna Blade. Level 4 Dragon
Yeah, I don't know if they're
Slave.
going to be expecting Denny to be this close, but Denny's turn potential is very low without the monkey here.
Oh, he gets the duel off, though. Laguna Blade, I'm sure, going to be committed to this. Is it going to be in time, though? They do not get the victory. Will they even get the kill? Pycat remaining alive. The How comes out. Not enough to survive, but they will buy the turn kill time. As you mentioned, Denny happened to be nearby. Ports in, gets one kill. Going to go for another. Lena, though, going to try to take out Phoenix in return. So support for support, eye for an eye. Yes, Denny will finish the job there on the Tusk. So it ends up being the 1-for-1
Dire's middle tower is
at the
under
top
attack.
lane.
Bloody-
Bottom lane.
And bot, yeah.
He should be good.
Yeah, the Weaver built a ton of early game. Full Aquila, full wand, a raindrop. It's very, very hard to bring this Weaver down.
Yeah. And he does have that time lapse just in case, so going to be fine
He has
here.
mana. He's a little
True.
low on mana. Alright, I like this much better. You give Biver mid lane, get him 6. You need this egg online. Like, Phoenix is so level dependent, and it's been suffer for him in the top lane.
Yeah, so they're trying to leech that experience. We've seen this happen in several times. I mean, again, the fact that Warlock's here too, also trying to get level 6 ASAP. He just chosen not to get the upheaval earlier on, by the way. I haven't been paying attention to that in this series necessarily, but again, I've noticed several series as of late we've seen Warlocks maybe even level up that upheaval or at least get 1 point in early, but
Neither of them had it by 7 last game. I
Okay.
didn't take a look as to what point specifically they got it, but yeah. I know last game it went max bonds into max Shadow Word, so. Got 3 points in Shadow Word already. Looking more for the sustain.
Lycan has the Mask of Madness pattern at least.
Almost there.
It's that
You go the patterns, you don't need to use the courier later. You can just grab it
Dire's
from the
middle
side
tower
shop.
is under
True.
attack.
Tusk. He's going to make it out of here before they look to get a good jump on
Oh,
him.
they want to go. Like, he's trying to find a way into the Phoenix.
Yeah, it'd be pretty risky, though, especially, again, with Denny nearby, level 10. He's ready to react if need be, so not going to be the case there. So I'm going to go over to the Bounty Rune. Well, actually, Batrider's going to pick it up, but Batrider level 8, almost level 9, actually, and he's almost got his, in fact, he has his drums finished now. Going to be delivered. She's going to get the drums here.
So the drums are, if you feel like you can do something in lane, you can kind of oppress the game a little bit. So I would expect him to rotate out of this Weaver lane, because the skill potential is almost 0 on it. A rotation into mid here once he grabs these drums could be
Oh,
huge. This is the
chaotic
first
offering
chaotic
in
offering of the game.
response. Nice size path right there as well. Blocking down Pycat and the Laguna Blade to finish the job. So the Ice Shards of Tusk right there doing a great placement. Kind of stutter stepped him. I mean, even though he's so fast,
Dire's middle
doesn't matter if
tower
he's
is
being
under
blocked
attack.
in.
Dire's
Now with the
structures
chaotic
are
offering, enough
fortified.
damage to get the kill. And they're going to use this Warlock Gold to now push that tier 1 middle tower.
Yeah,
top of
if
it.
they get the T1 and a Lycan off the first Golem, that's incredible. That's everything you could ever hope for out of a Warlock at 11 minutes into the game. Navi's not ready to give this up, though.
No. I mean, Lycan is back up. He wouldn't have Shapeshift, though, for 70 seconds. That's kind of key. He does have Hal, however. Going to pop it right off the bat, super over the back lines with that Wukong's command. But you see the Radiant here. They're just full-on retreating right here, or attempting to do Flame Break. We'll push back a little bit. Warlock is going to get picked off. As a Sunray coming through as well, trying to heal them up, but now the tool's activated. They take out Storm Spirit. It's a 2-for-1, but killing Storm Spirit is pretty big. General's also getting low. Fatal Bonds, spreading that damage. Down goes Monkey King, and down goes the Bat Rider as well. A 3-for-2 is how to land, and definitely much more important heroes killed out by Vega and Piper.
One. He was at one.
Wow. Yeah, it's regenning now, but one life surviving there at the end.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Oh,
they chose to
man. Yeah, you gotta try.
More so Navi in that fight, and Shapeshift isn't up just yet either again, and now Pycat being found. Here we go, Seneko, though, going to assist. You see the snowball activated, though, from Tusk, simply trying to help him survive and also still set up this kill, but the Sigil maybe to slow them down enough. Not going to happen. He will eventually get picked up. Meanwhile, G, he's dealing with this Bat Rider. He goes down. The Laguna play not enough either, and so Lena gets picked off, and Navi actually almost having a last laugh moment here.
All right, that's a one-word fight. Howl. Like, jeez. The extra HP gain, that damage, they just chunked everybody in that fight. That was nuts. It's nighttime, 50 bonus damage, 400 bonus health, kept Pycat alive, and allowed him to basically 3-shot the Tusk.
Strong ability, man. Especially this early on in the game, yeah. It's the plus 50 damage across the board is insane.
Yeah, it's really nuts on Bendy. As soon as his Bloodstone comes online with Max Howl, Storm needs mana regen to do his stuff, to be Storm Spirit. But if you add damage into it, his ganking power goes up so much. Like, the Lina is definitely solo killable from him as soon as that Bloodstone comes online. You just howl and chunk him. Shapeshift committed bottom, though.
Yeah, they want this kill on Warlock. He has a golem. Unless he has TPs coming in, though, not going to be worth it. So, yeah, he'll just accept death. The sound going off right there, but I think there's just a bit of a troll at the end. So, nice find from Navi again.
That's the Mask of Madness reveal on Lycan. Just picked that up. So, this is the point where he's feeling good. He wants to run at you, play super aggressive, going armlet next, too.
Storm Spirit, meanwhile, he's blocked in. Could find here onto him, but he's going to be able to ball lightning away. And he also assists for the kill at the last second onto Lena there as he's flying on through with that Vortex. So, well played by Dendy.
Yeah, they thought Lena was going to be able to be there. Seneko was sitting in the trees, and the Boundless Strike just made it so the Laguna couldn't come in time. And without that damage, yeah, nice swing for Navi.
Meanwhile, Storm gets a deny on the tower, and Bat Rider still nearby, but he's going to start running away now. Again, has those drums, has used a couple of charges so far, but the Blink Dagger is coming next. 1,400 gold saved up right here, so meanwhile at the bottom lane, though, Pycat, he's been pushing it in. He does have the Howl ready to go. Again, it is still nighttime.
Who they're
TP in. Pop the Mask of Madness. He's going to take some damage here from Lena. Meanwhile, at the top lane, it looks like General does go down, but keeping it at the bottom lane, Lena. Is she dead for sure? One more attack. Yes, she is.
Legion kept the port? Oh, jeez.
Too strong. Yeah, he still went in. Really wanted to
I thought they were just going to stand there and oof-slow him right away to start that. The duel is still down. Yeah. Huh. Playing a little reserved on the Navi side. A little rarity for them.
To be fair, could have been more ports that they just didn't see.
Could have been. Seneko could have gotten up in the trees and looked, though. So they are going to bring down the T1 bottom here. We've got Aloha Dance trying to chip away at the top tower here.
Oh,
and he's lassoed.
Lassoed backwards. Now Phoenix, though, has that Supernova going down. It's not going to hit, though. It's a good job of Shikuching on out of there. And he'll manage to survive, so yeah, good attempt between the Navi players there.
Imagine if you could force staff the egg. That'd be so insane.
To move it, yeah. That'd be interesting. General, they're going to go on him now. Swarm applied. Here comes a Walrus Punch follow from Tusk. Although the Sunray heal is doing a bit right here. It's going to be enough to save him. Absolutely not. Winner for the LC in the end. And
it did just enough to get Afterlife at duel.
That's true. Hindsight probably didn't want that.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Oh, that's another victory for LC. That's a second win already. Not too bad. Take a look at the net worth here. 6,900 net worth for Dendy here. Leading the charts is the Bloodstone. It's on its way.
As soon as he buys it. Well, he's still got to get the energy booster, I guess.
Yeah, with the power
Getting
trips here.
very, very close.
This bottom lane, Monkey King. He is going to be going to the Basher as soon as possible. And again, it's such a strong item on this hero. That Wukong's command, synergy.
You can tell he's feeling good. Like, he just sees G and starts pinging, like, let's go, let's go, let's go. Gotta kill him again. G's had 4 deaths. Yes, 6 kills. Done very, very well. But just feels like has been getting shut down the last, like, 3-4 minutes. Do they see Seneko here?
Well, he's going to open with the Wukong's command. You see the FPS drop as a result. Lena nearly dies off the bat, but she gets to press the attack, and then the duel comes out. Laguna Blade in the face of Monkey King, so immediate revenge. It is going to be enough for the kill from LC. That's the 3rd victory now for him. And a Bat Rider in the background. Lasso already used on cooldown. Weaver's chasing. Might need to be looking to use that time lapse, though, if he goes too far here.
Dendy in.
Dendy is going in. What else is new? He wants to kill this Warlock. Chaotic offering not back up. Wouldn't have mana for it anyways. And he is going to be run down. No, press the attack comes out. And now Dendy may be overstepping his boundaries. He gets the kill, but it comes at a cost of the 1-for-1 right there.
That's where you just question marks and says, team? Do you guys not want to come assist there? But yeah, no, that was a ton of sustain between Shadow Word and press the attack. Just so hard to bring somebody down on your own. It wasn't nighttime, so Howl wasn't super buffed. Just not quite enough damage.
Armlet finished on Lycan, though, so now he's got that battle build ready. He's definitely ready to pick some fights here.
They've definitely got a slight edge now until this LC Blade Mail. LC's had a very solid start. Has Blink already, Blade Mail and another 700 gold. There's another duel coming out. Shouldn't get a win.
Don't think he's going to win, though, but yeah, we'll get the kill. So,
that's where Phoenix really shines. Those Fiery Spirits just really shut down duels.
Oh, yeah, didn't even think about it that way. It's I guess you could say, I don't want to say it's a counter pick by any means, but
it's a soft counter.
It's a nice tool to have.
Yeah, it's a direct impact to a skill, but it's not a reason to pick it necessarily.
Yeah. Lena, oh boy, this was 4 hits. I want to say, like so much damage from Lycan. He's gonna howl right here, chasing with the wolves. Good job sending out the wolves. A chaotic offering. They want this turn kill on a Pycat. He just comes out of shapeshift. The timing is real. However, the sun ray from a distance will keep him alive. Yeah, the ice shard's on the wrong side, and he will be fine. But yeah, chaotic offering committed for that. I mean, it did save Lena, you could argue.
Yeah,
Do not get the turn.
It's not quite enough. It was so close just dropping G there again. I figured Seneko would be there again. He just loves to hunt G.
Yeah.
So the race to Bloodstone is won by the Storm Spirit by about 1,000 gold. So he will have that online. Look to this next team fight here for Navi because it's going to be critical. If Dendy can get a couple kills and not die in a super good position, but if he gets locked down by this brand new Blade Mail on LC and gets Laguna, it could be crippling for Navi.
Yeah. Lena's moving around with not much life here, and there's no shrine use. It's on cooldown for much longer. She gets her Bloodstone, so, but, oh, actually, meanwhile, off to the side, Tendy is going to find Afterlife, and there we go. There's +1 charge already coming, and now they're going to go for Roshan. As I said, Lena, she's not really set to fight either, so she's in the area, but I don't know if they want to
Chaotic Offering's down, LC's dead. You don't fight this. This is a Lost Aegis. Oh, man.
Yeah, you don't fight this, you think, well, Vega Squadron has a different idea. They want to fight this, at least stall this as long as possible, is the plan.
Is the Weaver that scary to them?
Apparently. Monkey just running in. This is what I was worried about, though, for Lena. She decides to stick around the area, and that's an easy kill. With even full life, though, at that point, she's probably dead.
Yeah, then he gets in range, too, for another Bloodstone charge. I mean, Vega is holding this Roche pretty well.
Will it pay off in the end? Supernova committed right here. They're pulling on a Warlock, so he's going to end up falling. Supernova won't hit anyone, but again, it zones them out. It does its job in a sense. And you see Afterlife trying to catch General right there, but
well, they're going to get the duel off this. Navi's not ready to go right back in. This has to be now.
Wow, G just went down again in the backless as he poured it in. Seneko picks him off on the Monkey King. There we go. Roshan is killed, and the Aegis is picked up, actually, by the Weaver right there on the Radiant side, but his teammates are dying around him. The Aegis is probably going to be used off the bat. No, he has a time lapse even, but he is limping away barely. Sakuchi on through, and he will get on out of there. I mean, that was such a huge commitment, but they do steal the Aegis and the kill.
They do. Yep. So 1,000 gold there, and they get the Aegis. And, I mean, all in all, you're pretty happy with that if you're Vega. You were going to give that up for free. The big downside is losing G right after the Bloodstone. Like, look at G's Bloodstone traders.
I don't know if they're so happy, man. Like that, getting the Aegis is nice, but there was so many deaths. 2 deaths on Lina. Everyone else died around them. You mentioned the Bloodstone down to 5 charges.
You can almost say, though, that Lina's deaths were unrelated to it. She was going to be farming out that Bloodstone in the jungle, and she was already there. She was finishing that either way. And with how aggressive Seneca was, they went on her before she even looked at the Roche pit. I mean, she was still up on her secret shop. The second one, yeah, was positioned because of the Roche, but that could have gone so much worse. At least Weaver got the Roche kill and got the Aegis. Like, Dendi went in to steal. He was close. Yeah. He was in the pit when Roche died. If they'd gotten the kill on Weaver there and took the Aegis, Navi's up 6,000 gold right now.
Yeah, like, so that's, I guess that's a way to look at it, is that it could have been much worse for Vega even, but yeah, the idea.
All right, I saw one of the casters talking about this in a game I was watching yesterday. There's some stat that when an offlaner is super ahead of another offlaner, the team with the winning offlaner tends to lose.
It's kind of interesting. Well, we're going to find one of the offlaners go. The offlaner's actually going at it, sure enough. The duel's activated on to Batrider, but in the back lines, I see the Laguna Blade was used on a Monkey King, but not nearly enough for the kill. The Supernova goes off, and actually LC's the one to fall right there. I don't think he gave up a victory, but he goes down. Down goes Lena as well as Warlock, and Icy Weaver in the midst of this Wukong's command. He just gets locked down. You mentioned that Basher picked up by Monkey King, clearly doing a work. Weaver comes back up after the agency, still has a time lapse as well, as Batrider and Phoenix are dead on the other side, but Monkey King, he's hopping around the trees right here. Ice Shards are going to miss, unfortunately, and now Tusk, that's going to lead to his death. Maybe set up a kill on a Monkey King, though. Not going to happen, and now, Aloha. He has to get the hell on out of here. Sakuchi on forward. He'll be fine at least, but another case of like, well, at least the Weaver survives, but...
Yeah, no, that one was just bad.
Whoa! Monkey came right in.
Well...
I don't think he expected him to be there, I guess. They still want this go, but if it leads to a kill, though... Oh, this is definitely worth it. Yeah, the time lapse immediately. He gets the dust off at least.
He should be fine.
We said that before. He almost died. But yeah, now he's actually good.
Yeah.
Oof, that was scary. Middle laner here, the lasso going off. There's the press the attack though in response, and here comes the duel now as well. So Batrider this time, he's the one that's going to go down. So well played right there. Lycan is caught. However, he is too deep, I want to say. Tusk, he has a different plan though. He still goes in. Walrus Punch comes out. But again, Pycast should still survive. Nice Icarus dive away from Fiverr meanwhile. Although Dendi... Again, this has just been his play style. He's still looking to go back in, and for good reason, he's still 21 charges on that Bloodstone, so why not? He wants more, damn it. This is looking a lot like the first game, man.
Dire's middle tower.
With the Storm Spirit.
It really is. I mean, exactly. It's looking like the first game because Dendi has impact. Game 2, he really just didn't have that same pop, and this game he's going off. I mean, that's a 21 charge Bloodstone at 24 minutes. He's huge.
Meanwhile, Lina, she's down to 4. She had to sacrifice herself even. And she's trying to build that Shadow Blade. Again, I guess the China region has definitely been doing this as of late on Lina's. And she's going to follow that here, but goes back to the Bloodstone. It's a nice stat still, and the potential to add back up. And man, being down to 4 charges at 25 minutes in, that's got to be so brutal.
Yeah, this is more of the old use for Bloodstone. You're just using it for mana regen to farm at this point. Like, okay, I've got some sustain. Let's go farm the jungle, get to 2 or 3 more items. It's just, what are they going to have to be for this to matter? Like, BKB helps, but there's still Wukong's command bashing you like crazy. There's still Lasso. Like, the Wukong command there was the fight breaker for Navi. That fresh basher just did so much work.
Meanwhile, Lycan, he gets out of the jungle as they're smoking in. He has a Shadow Blade now himself.
Both teams are smoked.
Here we go. Another fight to be had. LC, he did not get the tool off, though. In comes the Wukong's command. Zoning them out completely. Supernova's put down. He stumbles into it, though. Uh-oh, that's not the plan. LC goes down. And so does Tusk. He was just simply trying to help them keep them alive, and then Lena was picked off. Against Seneko, I feel like Seneko's hunting G this game again
Oh yeah.
the whole time. Picked him off throughout all that.
Yeah, the two big traits in game one were Dendi getting big, getting a nice early Bloodstone and keeping it, and Seneko actually having impact as well. Game one on the tree, he was super effective. The Blink Dagger came out insanely early, and with the Tranquil's Blink, just set up so many kills for Dendi. And this game, even more impact. Just made G's life miserable post like 15 minutes.
Oh boy, Warlock Chaotic Offering is up, but unfortunately, well, he had a kind of a window right there, but again, no one else really nearby yet. Still Resurrection's happening, so not worth committing. And also, the Dire Courier just gets picked off, so a couple of wards on there. Not the biggest deal, I guess, but...
I don't know if you saw the video on Reddit yesterday. Dendi was streaming and like went away to go get something in general, sat down at his computer and traded himself one of Dendi's Arcanas. So maybe Dendi's just rage feeding couriers because of it. You saw one at the end of last game too.
Traded him one of his Arcanas. Wow.
Yeah. He gifted it with a dedication that said like father in Russian or something.
Hilarious. Well, Storm Spirit now 23 Bloodstone charges. Orchid picked up. Shiva's coming up next. Another dominant game for him once again. I mean, this Weaver still does continue to farm very well. We haven't really talked too much about his build. I mean, the Lincolns, the Dragonlance, it's kind of the go-to. The no boots even.
The problem with running carry Weaver is if he's not way ahead, top net worth by a long shot, you start to wonder what it can do. Like a Weaver's goal would be in this game to go pick off the tree or the Bat Rider, like the squishier heroes. And he's quickly losing the ability to do that. Doesn't have a Deso completed, is going to be picking up a Maelstrom instead, which is a good damage item, but just doesn't have the impact he needs. He's not going to be able to sit there and man fight the Lycan, ever.
Well, meanwhile, top lane LC, he loses that exchange right there. Couldn't even get his duel off or get away at that point. Just zip-zapping around. Again, from Storm Spirit and then Bat Rider assistance with the lasso. More than enough to take him out, so that Orchid also coming into play. As you see, they're still pushing this top lane. In fact, Lena has to be careful. 2 Bloodstone charges, man. It's going to make it 1 here. Has support coming in, though, so yeah, they're going to port back and try to actually catch the Weaver. But, oh, maybe they still will, though. Denny's still chasing. There we go. Time lapse backwards. Going to go the other direction. He's going to be caught, though. Balance strike, initial stun. They get the Lincolns taken off. He is silenced up, and he will go down. 70 seconds he's dead for. He does have a buyback, but that's a long duration here.
Yeah. Without the Weaver, you don't want to buy him back. The second you buy him back, you're committing him to not do damage for the majority of this game. And then you're on the back of G, who is going the AC build. I like this a lot. It protects him a little against Lycan while still upping his damage output. But it's just going to take this perfect string of things to make this okay. It's going to take like a 5-man rock into bonds into like a 4 or 5-man overwhelming odds.
Yeah.
It's looking very rough. And as Dendi finishes up the Shivas, it's going to be even harder.
Radiant's bottom tower.
Tower
Maybe if
falls.
their courier wasn't dead.
That's true. Probably would be able to finish it here, but no, it doesn't have the gold for it anyway, so Courier does come back up, though. And they're just going to take more resources away from the other side. LC, excuse me, actually, Lycan actually almost has that Silver Edge now in full.
Yeah, he does. That's
that up here.
going to be really nice, especially against the LC. And just, if he gets dueled while he's Silver Edged, you disable the Moment of Courage. Takes a lot of the pressure off.
God, this monkey king.
I'm curious to see if Dendi can break the modern record for Bloodstone charges. I think is 31, and he's closing in on that rapidly. I think that was Ana with OG at Kiev.
I feel like it has to be more than 31.
Well, it didn't used to start with 12.
Yeah.
And yeah,
but we're talking about a lot of competitive games. I guess it depends on what tier of competitive games you're referring to. Like,
Sure. I mean, I'm sure there's been some like tier 3 games where someone's hit like 80 charges, but one death just cuts them out so much. Takes a near perfect game. Now look at this though. They're trying to sneak in Aegis.
Dendi goes in. Now he gets hit by the Chaotic Offering immediately. However, Tusk is found. lassoed on up. The Wukong's going to get put down. Tusk will be the first victim of this fight. Roshan goes down. The Aegis is picked up by Denny. He gets a kill in Afterlife as well. And now Lita just trying to keep her distance here. She gets one kill, but she is trying to run. That's not going to work against a Lycan in that shapeshift, however. Guess what? We've seen this before. Weaver the only one alive. Now he does get the Aegis used onto Denny right there, but he's coming back up very quickly. Time lapse is ready to use and will not even come into play as he skitters on out of there. It says Shikuchi. So Aegis at least gets burned right off the bat, but yeah, the Vega Squadron, they do have to take risks, so. But it's
and they had the rush pretty low. I mean, Dendy with a good job of just hard initiating into it and forcing Vega entirely off the rush. They knew if they finished the 1000 HP Roshan, fight was already over. So well executed there. Even though Navi has a big enough lead, they could run their faces into Vega.
Top lane.
Still good to see the aggression.
What was on that courier? That was a plate mail for Silent, actually. The plate mail for Warlock. That just got destroyed for the time being.
Yeah, he's trying to go Lotus.
Radiant's top tower.
I mean, that wasn't a bad rock bonds either. That wasn't a terrible initiation from Vega. It's just they're totally lacking the damage. There's 2 Bloodstone charges on Lina. And pretty much just Shadow Blade Bloodstone at this point. That's not enough. Ooh, Aloha in trouble.
He's dead trouble. Lincoln's ain't going to save him here. He tried to TP out. He's dead for 75 plus seconds. And he does not have a buyback this time. So Monkey King ends up finding him. And the rest follow suit. You go up there, get the kill. And this could be a death ball push now from Navi. As they're going to make their way to the middle lane, and looks like that's what they're going to choose to push out here. Whether they know he doesn't have a buyback 100% or not, they're at least going to try to force it, but as we see, he's dead for 45 more seconds here. So they got quite the window. This should at least be the middle racks. I can't see them defending no chaotic offering for 30 seconds. Yeah, you almost just give this up if you're Vega. You have to be very careful.
If you give it up, though, what's your win condition? What do you try to go for? When do you hold?
Well, they're not even going to get the choice. Navi says, we're going to take the fight to you deep in the base, but it might not matter in the end. Warlock and Tusk go down. LC just simply on the run. He has a duel even. Can't even get it off. Lina's dead. She buys back immediately. But yeah, I mean, they did not have a choice. He just basically made the decision for them. Jumps pretty deep.
I'm liking what I'm seeing out of. Oh, wow, Dendy's finally down. The Bloodstone cut down.
Only 21 charges now.
He's gonna go for the YOLO jump here, isn't he? Come on, Dendy. Give me like the half map jump in.
Radiant's middle barracks.
He's walking back. They get the racks.
You know you want to. You know you want to turn this.
If they chase this, they got to be really careful about that potential.
Yeah.
Oh, look at Seneca hiding.
I'm liking what I'm seeing out of this Navi roster. There's glimmers of hope here. They have multiple star playmakers on this. Pycat was doing a lot of work on the Lycan. Dendy is trying to make plays himself and doing it very well. Generally, then it will get aggressive when he feels like he can. So I'm liking what I'm seeing here. It's just I'm hoping they can piece it all together into something coherent against more. Not to say that Vega's not a premium team, but international competition. We all want to see some sort of a rise of Navi again. It's just a legacy. We want to see the dynasty back.
I've always been a fan of Dendy. Again, never been a caster of sorts until much more recently, but always been a watcher of Dota 2. And obviously, Dendy's just a lovable guy. It's hard not to like. So just for the success of him alone and the team, it would be fun to see. I agree. But, it's obviously been a tough challenge here against Vega Squadron overall. But, yeah, they're in a very good spot to move on to the playoffs here, securing this Game 3 and going to do even more at the top lane. Tusk, he gets found. So, yeah, they're really just being desperate here as Vega. And they're going to go as 4, actually, smoked up. Running up here towards them.
I still remember, it was probably 2 years ago at TI, they did these autograph card things where you got an in-game autograph if a player handed you one of the cards and could tie it to an item. And, Dendy was goofing off, handing them out when he could, and Ice did not ever go do it, and just, refused to. Oh, we got an initiation.
Yeah, top lane up here. Lycan going to be locked out by the duel, but duel is won by Lycan. Got to say, pretty damn easily. Yeah, this is 100% over. Just throwing the towel, man. You're not winning this
anyway, the very last day of TI, Dendy's,
quit being a pain in the ass, and like grabbed his whole stack of cards, Isis' whole stack, and drug him outside. And they gave him out for like 3 hours, just goofing off, talking to whoever wanted to come up to him. I mean, really, just a super nice guy too.
Yeah.
And it's always fun to see those kind of people.
Radiant's top barracks has fallen.
There we go. GG, well played. It will be official, and Navi, as the team, going to be moving on, deservingly so. Again, it was a grind of a series. Definitely not a free victory by any means. Vega Squadron, hell of a fight, but the road's going to end here for them for the Summit 7 qualifiers at least. So congratulations to Navi, however. Definitely
So
deserving.
we got a CIS semi coming up here.